time to Kincade and Salciunas is on the air. Broadcasting live on the Fanatic app and YouTube channel. Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
And a good Monday morning to you, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salciunas alongside my man, John Kincade. Another week. And, man, was it a wild weekend in Philadelphia. John Kincade, it didn't matter which way you were looking, which team you were watching. There is a storyline to unpack from both winter teams and the Sixers and Flyers. And, of course, we have the doom and gloom Phillies because we're 3 games into the season, which means we know everything about this team. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you, and we're going to have those people. And remember, the people who tell you it's gloom and doom in the Phillies are probably the same people who were telling you a week or two ago that the Flyers had 0 chance to make the playoffs.
Damn right, man.
It just is it's maddening, but it was a great weekend.
It was a great weekend.
Lots of great storylines to talk about.
So what we're basically going to do today is recap it all with you. All right, like I don't have some question to make you think. All right, let me think this one through before we text into the Davis Honda text
show?
line.
Are we really a thinker show? I think we're more of an emotional show.
Yeah, I pretend to be one, and then I realize I always just lead with my heart. We have a lot to unpack, and we want to do that with you. So today's one of these days. It's the open text line, open phone line, open YouTube comment line, 610-632-0975. Sure, we have a couple of questions for you, but let's react today because there is a lot to react to. So we'll start with the Phillies, Johnny, because they played the most amount of games because that's baseball for you. We were able to react fondly Friday morning to the opener Thursday.
We did.
We reacted fondly because the Phillies won a baseball game. They have not won since then. Saturday and Sunday, not so much fun. Saturday, they had the great comeback late in the game. They had nothing going offensively through 8 innings, and then they were able to tie it and force extras, and then it doesn't go so well in extras either. But, Johnny, there's a lot of people already panicking because the offensive numbers aren't that great through 3 games.
I think the reason that a lot of people are – I don't think it's panicking. I put it more as just bitching.
Yeah, emotional.
Yeah, and I think it's because of the fact is I've seen this movie before. I mean, there's. Have you ever seen a series of movies where you it's something 6, 7? I know the Jason movies, the Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
It's the same movie.
They just find different ways to.
Jason's in New York City.
Final Destination. How else can we make people die?
Yeah, Jason's in New York City. Jason's at the beach. They just find different ways to give you the same result.
Sure.
So I think people, whenever your fears are reinforced, I think it just brings out strong emotions. I just don't consume baseball that way, even though I commiserate and I understand the frustration because I feel that way about this Phillies team in a lot of ways, and I feel that way about doubling down on old guys, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the plan. I wouldn't have signed Schwarber. I wouldn't have signed Real Muto, and that was just me. But so I understand people who feel that way, but you're really overreacting.
Yeah.
Like people, it's an overreaction. Come on now.
I think there was a lot of wonder of how this team comes out the gate. Right? Remember, when they lose in 2023 the way that they did, they came out in 2024 with their hair on fire.
They did.
Like, they were playing baseball. They were trying to win every single game. Like, they were angry when they would lose 1 of 7, right? Like, they were winning these clips, and that's why they were setting franchise records at the start of the season. And then last year, we saw another great regular season, winning 96 games.
How did that hold up?
Well, it didn't. They lost in the first round of the playoffs back-to-back years. So we're sitting here going into this season. All right, what's it like? And so far, Crawford's been a lot of fun to watch, right? The kid has stepped up and has looked big league ready. There has been no concern about Justin Crawford, but that doesn't matter for a lot of people. What matters is Turner, Schwarber, Harper, who went 5 for 37 in the opening series. Now, here's the deal, John. 5 for 37. I'm not panicking because Trey Turner hit for 300 batting average last year. Kyle Schwarber hit 56 home runs last year. And Bryce Harper, I'm still not ready to say Bryce Harper is cooked, which I'm seeing a lot on social media. But he heard the Boo Birds this weekend. After coming up small, there was a big moment yesterday when they had nothing going offensively. Mackenzie Gore was dealing again. What else is new with Mackenzie Gore and the Phillies?
They absolutely just flail at Mackenzie
They can't touch that guy. But Bryce Harper comes up to bat with the bases loaded yesterday and gets out. And it wasn't a productive out.
And him getting booed?
Yeah.
Him getting booed, I believe he has brought some of this on himself. He made himself the center of attention. He took offense at his comment that he shouldn't have taken offense at. Instead, he should have used it as anger fuel for himself.
I think
and
he's
motivation.
trying to, and it's not necessarily working.
Yeah,
so
it hasn't
far,
worked. It hasn't worked. He's had a bad spring because we saw the World Baseball Classic. He sucked. He sucked at the World Baseball Classic. He had one moment. He stunk. And so he's had a bad spring. But again, I'm not going to think that Bryce Harper isn't going to somehow get back to being a really, really productive player. And I just don't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't consume baseball like football. I'm not doing it. Your 10 game, you say 10 game. I always look at it as when I consume baseball in much smaller bites after Memorial Day.
Sure.
But Memorial Day, they are usually at the 50-some game mark, which is a third of the season. Then I feel like I know who this Phillies team is. And I truly believe by Memorial Day, we'll know who they are. And I think they're going to be just fine.
The problem with opening weekends like this is you get the worst since stats.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw that they're under 500 for the first time since April of 2024, and that's when they came out the gate red hot, too.
Okay.
Matt Gell put out a tweet yesterday. Phillies hit 183 in their opening three-game series, their lowest batting average to begin a season since 2015. Those were not really fun days in Philadelphia sports.
Can I tell you that 2022 and 2023, when the Phillies were the best in October, they were the worst that they've been recently until June. So that's all I'm going to say is on Memorial Day of both of those years, one of them, they fired a manager. And the next year, they followed it up and they looked just as crappy. But those were the two best Octobers that we had. So I just ask that people put it in perspective, even though we do understand these guys are a lot older and there's been a lot more declining asset type statistics to worry about.
Well, let's think about the things that you can understand, right? And some of it is our own personal gripes about the Phillies. Some of it might be more masses.
All right.
JT Realmuto, I wanted him back on a year.
I wanted him back a year. I'd be fine with a year. No problem.
3 for 45.
It's idiotic. And you're paying him as the top. You're paying him top dollar catcher,
and he looks horrific at the plate. Horrific.
You've seen this though.
Yeah.
Like
last year he got red hot.
But we've seen this the last 3 years. We've seen 2-month stretches of this, 2.5-month stretches of this for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
It catches up to him. Maybe it's all the mileage on his body, whatever it is.
Yeah, he catches.
He's looking frail. Like he looks weak.
Oh, no, he looks jacked.
No. He looks good. You know what he is? He looked good at the beach. But what do they say? Look like Tarzan, play like Jane.
All right.
That's what it looks like.
It's so
like
far not swinging the bat
That's
well.
what it's looking like. But again, do I believe JT Realmuto is going to put together a 6-week streak where he's going to look great and he's going to come through some big hits? Yes, I do.
Sure.
Yes, I do.
For those of you worried about Adolis Garcia, rough start for Garcia. He swings like he's trying to hit it over the Fanavision every swing.
I think he's trying to impress his new fan base.
I think so too. His double.
How
that
about
he
catching
hit,
a routine fly ball?
Oh, yeah, he probably lost in the sun, Johnny.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
The double that he hit in the Saturday game that helped bring them back, right? They go to extra innings. That was the hardest swing for a bloop double I've ever seen in my life. This dude swung. You want to talk about like a Tarzan level strength swing? Like,
oh my
this
gosh!
Dude, I got John Kruk talking about how he wants to see him oiled up, right? Like this dude swung out of his freaking shoes. Bloop, but it was a double, and it made an impact. He's batting under 100. Bryce Harper batting under 100. His only hit was the broken bat single that tied the baseball game. There's a lot of guys that are struggling right now. But it's 3 games in.
Come on.
So we can't.
Yeah,
panic
let's everybody just put it in perspective. I'm much more
That's
concerned.
Just the hitters.
The funny thing is, well, that's where it is. I am much more concerned about the king of the meatballs.
Yeah, Nola
Picked right back up where picked right up where he's left off.
Nola needs to, I think they need to put an espresso machine.
The worst pitcher in Major League Baseball, giving up the gopher balls, and he picks right up where he's left off.
Yeah, two more long balls.
And even though he didn't pitch terribly, let's be honest, it wasn't terrible, and the bats should have given him more of a chance to compete in the game. Who knows what happens in that, but you can't be you got to keep the ball in the ballpark, and he cannot do that. But don't worry about it. There's only 4 more years left on the contract.
By the way, I went down Saturday pregame, and I posted a photo of the flags. The flags were like straight, right? Like picturesque, right? If a kid
Dr. Avi Donapel would have been proud of him.
Right. If Coop was drawing the United States flag, right, there would be no wave.
Okay.
It would just be a rectangle.
Sort of like the moon landing.
That's what the flags look like blowing in. So the fact that Aaron Nola gave up a home run, that thing should have probably gone 600 feet. The one early on in the game. He had a rough outing.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Luzardo, rough outing.
Oh, my gosh.
And, we've talked about the back and forth years statistically for Jesus Luzardo. He is a career 4 ERA guy. You can look at his stuff and see how good his stuff is. Do I think that's going to be the norm for Luzardo? No. What he did yesterday, I don't believe that to be the case. But do you think
Luzardo is the guy you saw last year is the question?
No, I would expect a little bit less than last year. But again, he's your 3. When Wheeler comes back, he's your 3. And you'll take a 3.5 ERA guy?
If he can get that.
Yeah, he will.
Well, that's very confident.
Yeah, I expect.
He was hanging more pitches than, seriously. Chip and Joanna don't hang that much on HGTV.
It was cold, Johnny.
Put it this way. Oh, yeah. And if I hear one more person with it, well, it's not hitting season yet.
It's happening everywhere else in baseball. Connor, your initial reactions to the opening series for the Phillies, where they start 1-2. Not necessarily the best performances offensively, as we kind of just went through. And they were outscored 16-12 in the opening.
Yeah, not great. It was really interesting how the games played out, though. We'll tell you why this is happening, I think. You saw them get into the late innings and get into some big at-bats. And the 9th inning in Game 2, right, where they force extra innings. Or yesterday where they finally wake up and scratch across 3. It almost feels like they're just trying to do too much early in games. You talked about Adolis Garcia trying to impress his new team.
Dude, that dude is
Do you believe that, too?
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks that
That's
way.
why I didn't want him batting in the cleanup spot to start the year, because I thought this was going to happen.
That dude swings the bat so freaking hard. But that's why he has 0 walks and 5 strikeouts to start the season.
But like Harper, Turner, Schwarber, you can kind of tell they're doing it a little bit too. When they need to grind out at bats late in the game because they're like, man, I don't want to get no hit, they look much better. They've just got to let the game come to them a little bit. And a little too much adrenaline, I think, for the opening series.
The thing is, though, is that these are the same type of things that have hung up these players for years in big spots. And now this isn't even a big spot. This is where I just get there. I understand the concern of people, but I just ask people to realize, again, the best Octobers we've had this decade, the team was 500 or worse at June 1st. So just let it breathe. It's going to be okay for whether it's okay long term, we'll find out. But you got to let it breathe. Let's see how this story plays out.
All right. Absolutely.
They're a game out, they're 2 games behind the Marlins.
Oh, man.
So that's.
What's the Marlins' magic number here, Johnny?
Yeah, the Marlins got to be excited.
All right. So that's your Phillies. And look, there's a lot to unpack with the Phillies. If you want to react to the opening weekend, I know a lot of people were upset with what they saw. And look, obviously that you're upset because they lost and you want to see the Phillies win. But it's how they lost.
It's good analysis on your part.
The bats aren't starting off all too well, and the worries about Nola, it didn't look too good in his opening start. You could text in.
It looked familiar, though.
It sure did. Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference. Burlington, Davis Honda, 610-632-0975. Now, the winter teams, a much different vibe right now, Johnny.
Crazy vibe.
We'll start with Saturday. The Sixers, I know if you don't follow the NBA day in, day out, you're going to go, what do you mean major win over a team that's in the 10th spot of the Eastern Conference? That was a major win over the Charlotte Hornets, who have been playing really, really good basketball. And it's a major win for your own doing because you're still trying to climb up and not fall back and not be, a 1 through 6 seed. You don't want to be a play-in team.
And now you're 2 games up on the 7. You're 2 games up in the 7 spot.
Right.
With 8 to play.
Right.
So you're feeling good about that, where you would not, if you did have to play in the play-in tournament, you wouldn't have to play on the road.
Right.
You'd have 2 chances to win at home. You want that.
But most importantly, it's not even who you beat. It's not even the standings. It's how the team looked. You have Paul George and Joel Embiid come back the Wednesday night game against the Bulls. And Embiid looked like he just woke up and played basketball and scored 30-plus points. And then Paul George, they got him involved late in the game, and he was hitting his threes. Paul George having another great game against the Charlotte Hornets. Embiid with another good game. By the way, nobody on the injury report.
Oh, that's incredible.
Including Tyrese Maxey, who comes back out of nowhere because last week.
I did not even know that surprised the hell out of me.
On Wednesday of the Bulls game, Nick Nurse was talking about how he was being reevaluated 1 week from that day. So this Wednesday was supposed to be the reevaluation period, which means nothing, right? Because how many times has Joel Embiid been reevaluated and then he's going to miss another 6 games? So Maxey, we're thinking, is going to be reevaluated this week. Turns out, boom, he's playing Saturday. Friday night, he goes into the injury report listed as questionable, and you're going, wait a minute. Questionable does not mean out.
No.
Questionable means there's a chance this guy could play.
Well, with Embiid, it does. But,
well, that's true. And late in the game, when this game started getting fired up, here's Tyrese Maxey posterizing, no better person, Miles Bridges.
Rebound Maxey, foot race with the dribble down the lane. Oh, man, he jammed it. Tyrese Maxey throws it down. Bridges got dunked on, posterized, and Maxey, one of the biggest dunks of the year. Are you kidding me?
He's the best.
I love that call.
He's the best, man.
That call's awesome.
And it painted everything perfectly.
It didn't upstage the importance of it either.
No.
I mean, that was fantastic.
That was a big moment because the Sixers and Hornets were fighting back. They were down, and that big dunk, and that got the team going. If you saw the reaction, timeout Hornets, the Sixers players all ran out to Maxey, which is great because they all love Tyrese Maxey. But that was a big moment in the game. And then not that much longer later, for all of you Joel Embiid can't play defense people out there, when he can move, he can. This was at the very end. Miles Bridges, same player who got dunked on and same player that did horrible things in the past, and yet he's allowed to play. Here's Joel Embiid with a major block.
Ball inbounding ball to Diamante. LaMelo Ball gets it back. 12 seconds to go in the game. Charlotte on the drive. Ball into the lane. No look to the corner. Miller blocked by Embiid. Embiid blocks it. 4 to shoot.
Embiid with a block where
that was huge.
All 7'2" of his frame, and however many inches he got off the floor.
Huge.
And look, the Hornets could win that basketball game.
No,
that shot
could've.
goes in, the Sixers lose. And the Sixers win that basketball game. And, man, that was a great one. And that was Saturday. Then we had last night, Johnny. The Flyers are playing the Stars after their big win against the Blackhawks.
Huge win. No, against the Red Wings.
Right. And then they play the Red Wings Saturday night.
Red Wings.
And they win on national
Which
television.
was amazing, but they almost gagged that one away.
Almost did.
That was
a lot of goals for Detroit in the third period,
crazy.
But they hold on to win. And then yesterday, they take on one of the best teams in hockey, the Dallas Stars. They fight for 3 periods, Johnny, and then they go to overtime.
And that the game, it honestly was one of those things where you say you don't want to have to go to overtime to win that one. But with 4 minutes to go, Jim Jackson says like the curse word of you just want to make sure you get the 1 point tonight. And I saw people on Flyers Twitter going nuts, going, "Why is he saying that?" He was absolutely right.
Because the Stars are one of the best teams in hockey.
You're playing the Stars, 4 minutes to go at that point. If the Flyers could grab 1 point there, you're thrilled with it. The fact that they got away with a win last night, holy gosh.
Not just 1, but 2. Thanks to Trevor Zegras.
Cut around Mikko Rantanen, up the right wing, in at the Dallas line. Zegras looking at the net, shoots, he scores! The overtime winner! Trevor Zegras ends it with his 23rd goal of the year!
I love him.
Well, Trevor Zegras, there's a lot to love.
I love you, Trevor Zegras.
There's a lot to love.
So we have major weekends for the Sixers and Flyers and a lot to unpack with you today. We're asking you to just react. Be a fan today, right? Like we don't have to have heated debate.
Okay, but but being a fan does include that some people are going to voice their frustrations. We know that.
Well, that's why we have the Phillies. The Phillies are the perfect balancing act for us.
That is.
Because if you want to react frustratingly to the Phillies, have at it.
We got it.
When it comes to the Sixers and
We
Flyers,
got you.
man.
Yeah, come on.
And I don't need none of this, I don't want the Flyers to win. There's a guy out there, you know who I'm talking about, who was talking about how the Flyers suck because they lost to Columbus. And this is bad for the team, and they shouldn't be winning these games late. They're fooling themselves. You mean to tell me when Zegras lights the lamp in overtime yesterday, that person and many other Flyers fans are saying, damn it, this is bad?
I said it to the negative Nancys last Monday, and I'll say it again. Last Saturday night, I had people getting on me going, you actually think the Flyers are in this? Oh, my gosh. And I said, well, unless you don't understand math, the Flyers were in this. Did I expect the Flyers to sweep this weekend? I did not. But more importantly, it's a, look, believe.
Yes.
What?
Ted Lasso.
Why? No, but I mean, why do you want to be a fan and not go until things are dead? Why do you not want to believe?
I don't get it, Johnny.
I don't
It's fun right now. See, imagine not being a part of this party. Imagine wishing that they lost. Imagine not wanting to enjoy this. Waking up March 30th talking Sixers Flyers playoff push.
I got to tell you, I did not expect to talk Flyers playoff push. I didn't, and I was a believer. But I didn't think we'd really be talking.
Well, here's what we're gonna do. Coming up next. We did this at the beginning of last week, toward the end of the show. The sense of urgency is even higher this week. The week ahead for both the Sixers and Flyers, the standings, and we'll give you the viewing guide for both teams and the teams that we're also paying attention to. We do that for you next. You can text in your reaction to the weekend, whatever you're on edge about, whatever you're confident about, we're here for you. 610-632-0975. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Monday morning. Oh, it's going to be a great week, Johnny, here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, speaking of a great week, hanging out with you in the city, that's always fun. Friday, April 3rd. I was telling Johnny about this last week. I cannot wait. Friday, April 3rd, Giovanni's Falafel Bar and Grill on Chestnut Street in Center City. It's another establishment that I've never heard of. It's another establishment that I go, oh, I'm in on that. I can't wait. Giovanni's Falafel Bar and Grill on Chestnut Street in Center City with my friends from Corona. I'm going to be there from 6 to 8 for our Corona Sixers pregame party, getting you ready for tip-off the right way. Grab a cold Corona, enjoy the atmosphere, and get ready for a great night of Sixers basketball. And I checked them out online. It looks like a great atmosphere. I can't wait to go. Plus, one lucky fan is walking away with a pair of tickets to an upcoming Sixers home game, and that could be you. And we're getting down on the wire here.
And the games matter.
Don't forget, this is all leading up to our final Corona Sixers event. Join Connor Thomas. We tapped in for the righty for Saturday. I can't go back-to-backs. You know what I mean? Saturday, April 4th from 6 to 8 at Timeout and Skip Back.
Skip Back Pike,
where you can enjoy $4 Corona family bottles and the one last Corona Sixers pregame party. So don't miss it. This Friday, April 3rd from 6 to 8, I'll be at Giovanni's Falafel Bar and Grill in Center City. Connor will be at the Timeout Skip Back April 4th from 6 to 8. It's the Corona Sixers pregame party. We'll see you there. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Flyers outlast the Stars. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers had a perfect weekend as they're heading into the final month of their regular season. The Flyers had a big win over the Stars last night, 2-1 in overtime. Trevor Zegras had the game winner.
Cut around Mikko Rantanen up the right wing in at the Dallas line. Zegras looking at the net, shoots, he scores! The overtime winner! Trevor Zegras ends it with his 23rd goal of the year.
That's how it sounded right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. They're now 2 points out of a playoff spot. They're off till tomorrow. Every game big at this point for the Flyers. Every game big for the Sixers as well. They beat the Hornets in a thriller on Saturday as Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre both returned to action. And with the team fully healthy, it's time for them to try and make the push into the actual postseason, not just the play-in games. They're a half game back of the Hawks for the 6th seed. They'll play the Heat tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Phillies lost 8-3 yesterday, dropping their opening series to the Texas Rangers. Turner, Schwarber, Harper combined 5 for 37 in the opening series. They got to get things going. They've got the Nationals tonight at 6:40. Foster Griffin faces off against the Phillies' Taijuan Walker in this one. Anthony Sanfilippo joins us coming up at 7:30 to talk Phillies and Flyers. Derek Gunn at 9:05. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
97.5, The Fanatic.
This hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
It is 6:31. Bradford White here for the pro. John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas here for you. What a crazy weekend that we just went through in Philadelphia sports. Two of the teams made us very happy. Sixers and Flyers. The Phillies not so much, but you can be like John and I, where we go, all right, 3 games. Wasn't so much fun. Bring on the Nationals. Or you could be the Phillies fan that is tweeting that this team stinks and season's over and I knew they shouldn't have done this and I knew they shouldn't have done that. And look, I could say some things that I didn't like about this. I hated Dave Dombrowski's offseason. I've been abundantly clear about that.
We've been very, very clear. Look, we're not.
And yet I'm still not overreacting to 3 freaking games.
No, and there's going to be perspective as to what we think about what this offseason was. Look, this offseason, we weren't pleased with it. But where this team is, come on now. Yeah.
They're going to make the playoffs.
Let it breathe. Well,
they're going to make the playoffs.
Okay, you say that defiantly. I'm going to wait and watch a little bit more, but I got you.
What more do you
I
need to
thought
see?
before the season, I thought they would. I still think there's a lot of question marks with this team. We'll see.
So before the season, you thought they would win 3 games against the Rangers?
Because the things that I would say that I told you that I was worried about in the initial part of the season have shown. I'm hoping that's not the case.
Yeah, but this is like Jalen Hurts watching him throw an incomplete pass on the first down of the season and saying, "Oh no, this guy stinks."
No, in fact, it isn't.
It's
Because
3 games.
No, it's not. It's seasons upon seasons of Aaron Nola. It is a career of watching a guy like Jesus Luzardo not be able to put back-to-back seasons together. It is watching the decline of JT Realmuto over many, many seasons that people have just denied around this town because they think he's cute. It's like, this isn't about one incompletion by Jalen Hurts. No, it's completely different.
You just said before the season you thought they were going to make the playoffs.
And you said
I did, and I still
want to wait and see
and
more.
they should still, but I want to see more before defiantly just saying that I'm going to be right about it. Yes, I want to see more before saying absolutely rubber stamp it. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be right on that. That's what I think.
I feel very confidently rubber stamping it.
Okay,
on my forehead. Phillies making the playoffs.
That's what I thought they'd be. I'm going to see a little more of a season play out. Because that, to me, is just as crazy as the person who's saying that they can make conclusions about this team 3 games in. When you see something this crappy. It's like, you got to let it breathe, boys.
Yeah.
Let it breathe.
I'll let it breathe until October when they make the playoffs. All right, Sixers Flyers. Johnny, we're here to help the people.
Yes.
All right. We're doing this week. All right. We're not doing next week. This week. We did this at the beginning of last week's show, and man, is the urgency even higher. So for the Sixers, Johnny's got the Flyers, I got the Sixers. We're going to make this easy for you. All right?
Really easy.
The Sixers continue to have big games, including tonight against the Miami Heat. The Heat are a team that are 2.5 games back of you for the play-in seed. Now, we're looking ahead in the standings, but you're playing a team that is behind you. Don't let them get back into it. By the way, it would be inexcusable at this point to lose to them. The Heat have just been leaking oil.
Yeah, they are. They look like a team that is very discouraged.
They've lost 7 out of their last 10 games. They've lost 2 straight. They are playing a bad brand of basketball right now, whereas the Sixers are heading in a complete, how about the total opposite direction? They've won 7 out of their last 10. They've won 2 straight. So complete opposites of what the Sixers and Heat are doing.
Different, yes.
I don't care that you're in Miami. Don't tell me some Miami swoon's going to happen. No, the Sixers in Miami need to win this basketball game tonight, and they should very well win their next game as well on Wednesday when they play the freaking stinking Wizards, all right?
Those are 2 that you can expect. You should expect, let's put it that way, you should expect that the Sixers win those games.
Absolutely. Now, what makes things really interesting is Friday, Saturday, because it's back-to-back. What do the Sixers do?
Those are 2 really good teams.
You're playing Minnesota Friday night, 5th seed in the Western Conference, which means they would be the best team in the East. Right? You're playing a really good T-Wolves team on Friday.
Sure you are.
And then you're playing the top-seeded Pistons on Saturday. Paul George, when he came back, said he's playing every single game.
He did, which by the way, I do admire. I expected that, like that should be the expectation. but I admire it.
They have
that he's
two
doing that.
back-to-backs left, Friday, Saturday, and then they have the 9th and 10th Rockets Pacers. We'll get there when we get there. But they have a back-to-back Friday, Saturday. What do they do with the big man? I would imagine he does not play both games.
Which is just
But we're talking urgency time.
It's ridiculous.
Now.
It's ridiculous.
Could he prove us wrong?
He could. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Okay.
It's ridiculous if he doesn't. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
It's just it's at this point. At this point, this is where people's frustration really kicks in.
Sure. And
To be like, we're gonna we'll see what he
happens.
does. Do we show a gut? This is gut check time.
Right.
Do we see a gut check? Do we see Joel Embiid say, you know what, my team needs me, and this is important?
Yeah. And maybe they'll see how other teams play out. So quickly, the Hawks, the team that you are behind right now by half a game, they have the tiebreaker, so you need to jump them. The Hawks are in front of you. They play the Celtics tonight, the Magic Wednesday, and then they have a cookie with the Nets on Friday. But
That is a week where they should have. You're hoping that is a 1-win week for the Hawks.
Yeah.
Even though Orlando's behind you.
yeah.
So you have to sort of decide. I worry about the team in front of me.
Yeah, no, I want them to go
So,
Magic.
go Magic.
I'm
Go
gonna wear a
Magic.
Tracy
Take care.
McGrady Magic jersey.
We'll worry
Let's
about.
go.
We will worry about. We'll worry about the teams behind us when that becomes an issue.
And then the Raptors, who you're one full game back of, they've won 2 straight games. They beat the Pelicans. They stink. They beat the Raptors by a lot yesterday. They're a week ahead. They're off today. They play the Pistons tomorrow. The Kings Wednesday, which they should beat the Kings, but that's back-to-back. And then they have Grizzlies Friday. They should win that game. Celtics Sunday afternoon.
Correct.
You hope that they go 2-2. That's like the best they do is 2-2.
And if they go the best 2-2, you're feeling really good about that.
Yeah.
Like you're feeling good about that as far as look. You just right now, just get me past the Hawks. Get me into the play. Get me out of the plan.
Yeah, you want to see.
I'll worry about the Raptors when I worry about the Raptors again. Let's get the team right in front of you and make sure that the Magic doesn't come up and snake you, you know, from behind.
All right, now Johnny Hockey has the floor because we are in game in hand territory,
Which is really awesome.
Oh,
I mean, it's absolutely awesome where we're at, and I will not go back. By the way, I will be the bigger person.
all right.
I will be the bigger person, though I really don't want to be. I tell you, it's one of those things where you don't want to be. I'll be the bigger person to the people that mocked that we were wasting time on this just even last Monday. The Flyers right now find themselves just 2 points out of a playoff spot.
2 points out.
2 points out of third place in their division,
With a
which
game
is an
in hand.
automatic playoff berth, by the way. And they are 2 points out with a game in hand. But they have less wins by one less win, and they lost the season series. So what you got to do is you got to beat out the Jackets.
Yeah.
So really what you're trying to do is, though, let's worry about that when you get there. You're 2 points out of a playoff spot right now, and you're 2 points out of the last wild card also. So that's really good. And you're feeling good about that. You're really feeling good about where this team is at right now. Now it's a matter of what you got. Tonight, you only have one game to worry about. It's the Islanders and the Penguins. And I saw some people last night that were on the internet. Even one of the Flyers beat writers that was spreading some of the gloom and doom. Columbus last night gave you a big gift. Columbus blew a game in the last 5 seconds to give up a point, go to overtime, and then lose in overtime. They were going to win a game in regulation against Boston. And people were like, 3-point game, can't have it. Boston is not in the picture for the Flyers. You're not worried about Boston. Boston has nothing to do with the Flyers making the playoffs. Don't worry about Boston. You're not catching Boston, so don't worry about them.
And this also after the game we said there was no way they were going to lose.
They're
in San Jose, and they lose.
And by the way, no, I said that.
Yeah.
To you. I said that. I did not see it. The Jackets, maybe after their big streak, maybe leaking a little oil themselves, you got a chance. So tonight, all you're hoping for in the Penguins Islanders, I'm going to tell you this right now. The Penguins are at the Islanders. You're rooting for the Penguins. And I know that is anti-Philadelphia. I know that sounds like I'm asking you to root for the Antichrist.
If it benefits the Flyers, you do it.
You are rooting for the Pengies tonight because the Penguins can go and beat the Islanders tonight. If they can pull off a win against the Islanders, the Islanders then have a game at Buffalo, back-to-back. They have to get on a plane and go to Buffalo. Buffalo, one of the best teams in the NHL. The Islanders could lose 2 games. You already have a game in hand on the Islanders. You're 3 points behind them. You need somebody to do that. You play the Islanders Friday night. Dude. Like it's you could go into the Islander game ahead of them on Friday night. They're second place in the division right now. Now, the Penguins would jump them tonight. You're rooting for Pittsburgh. And again,
The Penguins, man.
the only teams you're worried about are the Islanders, the Blue Jackets, and the Penguins. Now, the Red Wings and the Senators we're watching too. But what we're really watching right now is Islanders and the Blue Jackets, Penguins. Those are the 3 we're watching. Don't worry about the Bruins. I don't know why beat writers are even talking about the Bruins. The Flyers don't. The Bruins getting a point last night, getting 2 points didn't matter. It matters right now with the teams in front of them. Flyers are in good shape.
Isn't
Just one
this
game to watch
awesome?
tonight. It is. It's fun.
In January, we talked about it, that it could be for the first time since, 2018?
Could we see both teams in?
Because COVID, the bubbles. 2018 was the last time we saw both teams play a playoff series.
That'd be wild.
In Philadelphia, South Philly, right?
You said that the one night thing.
I can't wait. I need it. Please. Are you not having fun with this? Are you really I don't want them to win? That's nonsense. All right, check into the text line next, 610-632-0975. Also, the Flyers might have a little help with a kid that can't drink yet, Johnny, legally. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let me tell you that FanDuel Sportsbook app. Sorry about that. I'm just fired up, man. No better place to get fired up with than is your FanDuel Sportsbook app. Why not bet these teams? Right now, FanDuel customers, new ones, you get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. That's awesome. Here's how it works. Place any bet with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge using your bet reset token. And if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. They started this at the beginning of the tournament, but now they're doing this with all sports, all right? So maybe you have not been paying attention to the Flyers, or maybe you just have not been betting hockey all season long. You go, you know what? I want to give myself some extra juice tomorrow night and some of the other games this week for the Flyers. So I'm going to bet the Flyers. And if it hits, fantastic. Flyers win and you get paid. If it doesn't, we'll react to the loss. But you get up to $300 back in bonus bets. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. FanDuel, play your game. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
It is 647 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. We're so fired up about what happened this weekend with both the Sixers and Flyers. We're talking about the Phillies. We'll check the Davis Honda text line and the Dr. Avedon poll in a second here. But there's so much excitement. But we have not even mentioned...
Dr. Avedon poll.
Oh, yeah, man. We have not even mentioned the 19-year-old.
Oh, man.
Porter Martone. You've been talking about how we are going to see him eventually, and you have been talking to a lot of people that are very, very, very excited about this kid.
Yeah, he's considered
child.
He is considered seriously.
He is a legal adult because he's 19, but he is a child.
He's 19. He doesn't look like a child. He's a big boy.
Sure,
but he is a prospect that is everybody in hockey circles is talking about as an incredible prospect. And he is it's going to be so exciting to watch this happen and to watch this come together. And they've wanted it. The Flyers have wanted him to get up here and wanted him to play. Some people were sending along tweets that I'd put out earlier in the year that I was like, look, they wanted him to get playing time this year at the NHL level. They wanted him to get up. He got up. He luckily he didn't make the Frozen Four, so he's done. So he's back. So it's going to actually potentially help the Flyers make the postseason if he can come in here and play. And he may debut tomorrow night in Washington. It's more likely he debuts Thursday night
at home, right?
At
Thursday's
home.
At home.
Well, just as far as to give him more of a runway.
Yeah.
As far as to get up here and get comfortable with his teammates. This young man is a hell of a talented player.
I could imagine he watches from the booth, from the suite.
Yeah, he
tomorrow.
got there last night. You know, he got there last night and was in the booth and everything. My guess would be why rush it is that might be their thought process. And you've got the opportunity to get a couple practices under their belt and everything. There's a lot of people speculating on what it is. I can tell you that no decision, officially, I can tell you that no decision was made as far as last night in the third period. Someone that I trust very much that would know the answer to that question said no decision has been made as to whether he makes his debut Tuesday or Thursday, that would be made today. Mm-hmm. That decision would be made today.
In case you don't know who Porter Martone is, sixth overall pick for the Flyers last year. He's 19. He does not turn 20 till October. So when the Flyers make the playoffs, John?
Yes.
When? And they, maybe they pop a bottle of champagne.
He can't have anything.
You got to keep him away.
Or
he's not allowed.
Or next year when they make the playoffs.
Right. You got to keep him far away,
he
man.
Can't.
He's not allowed.
I want everybody to go back and watch draft night. The night he was drafted, I did the Flyers draft party with Jason Martinez and everything down at the casino in Atlantic City. And when Porter Martone was drafted, he was sitting there on the board, and they had a video in the. Somebody has this video because I've seen it, and then I wasn't able to find it last night. They had a video of the Flyers table, and when the pick was made ahead of the Flyers, Keith Jones goes like this. When the pick is made ahead of the Flyers, Keith Jones, that's good for radio for you people. Keith Jones does this.
A celebratory pounding of the table.
But keeps it to himself, really. But there's like a little pounding of the table that he was excited that somebody wasn't picked. You could see him like this, and he makes the face like, yes, the guy that they wanted to be able to get. And it wasn't frustration. You can see immediately he's like an exhale, like, oh, good, thank God. We got the guy we wanted. And yes, the Flyers got the guy that they wanted at 6. Whether it turns out to be the guy, Porter is here, and he is going to be, let's just say, I would say he will end up being the Flyers version of Cooper DeJean for the fan base. As far as, if you know what I mean, as far as I would expect you're going to see a lot of young women
like him.
The young women will have their Porter Martone jerseys quickly
because of his talent on the ice.
Yes, not because he's 6'3" and good looking. Yeah, it's not going to be.
So exciting time for the
good
Flyers.
For him.
What do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Burlington, we love you. What do we got on that? And then we'll check the Dr. Avedon Appel Iron Mountain Men's Health Poll.
So Ben in Bucks County brings up a good point. In Canada, drinking age is 19. So if they do it in Canada, Porter Martone can partake.
Okay.
Well, they don't. They wouldn't be doing that in Canada. So that's the one.
Well, what
the
if
one
they
sad part
what if they clinch in Winnipeg?
No, they're not going to. You never know.
You know,
Saturday,
Saturday, April 11th.
I don't see any way that the math works out for
teams
that.
bottom out. They clinch in Winnipeg,
I don't
and he
see
has a drink up there.
I don't see anything for that. But if I was a Flyer fan and I had a chance to buy some tickets, the games back to back on the 13th and 14th with Carolina and Montreal at home, those games right now look like they could be of utmost importance.
The barn's gonna be rocking, Johnny.
How about Easter Sunday versus Boston?
Oh yeah, man.
It's going to be a huge game.
Damn right, it's going to be a huge game. All right, Connor.
Celebrate Jesus' resurrection
Damn right, man.
with the Flyers' resurrection.
I was about to say it,
'Cause
but I didn't know if that would be inappropriate.
No. The Flyers were dead. The Flyers were dead 2 weeks ago, and everyone was telling you they were, except some people.
Yeah, well,
we're telling you.
Well, Johnny, I voted on the poll already, and I'm not surprised, but it's wild.
Okay, what is it?
All right, Connor, tell us what the Iron Mountain Men's Health Dr. Avidana Pell poll of the day is today. 4 hours strong in the morning, 4 hours strong in the afternoon. And this one's strong due to results, but I don't know if it's strong in terms of this fan base.
What's your biggest takeaway from this weekend's games? Two options. Excited for Sixers/Flyers, upset with the Phillies. 53% of responders are saying upset with the Phillies.
That's their biggest takeaway.
I'm just built different. I'm just built different. And look, it's 50-50, and it's early. I'm just built different. I can't get out of bed on Monday morning after what we've seen from the Sixers and the Flyers. We've seen the Sixers getting healthy, the Sixers making a charge, the Flyers coming out of the grave again, and a team that wasn't supposed to be and should not have been expected to make the playoffs, making this run. I can't do it.
It's going to be a long year.
Dude, and I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised.
But, the Sixers and Flyers just had huge weekends. Flyers even bigger because they're still fighting for their life.
Absolutely.
Sixers, it was an important win on Saturday against the Hornets, but the Flyers are fighting for their life, and they have the big win against Dallas last night in overtime. And people's biggest takeaway is the Phillies had a rough start to the season.
In 3 games of 162. And
They've lost 2 games already. Are they in trouble?
My God.
Oh, man.
Wheeler's not even back, and by the way, he had a nice outing in Lehigh.
Got some ribs after.
Damn right he did.
Got a good club.
Look, the Phillies brought this upon themselves. We've talked about this a lot, so I can't blame anybody.
Dave Dombrowski's arrogance.
He did it to himself.
He did.
Got a good club.
Got a good club.
And Mr. Wine. Coming up next. Believe it or not, we went through a whole hour, and we did not talk about A.J. Brown. Howie Roseman. Some league meetings going on. He spoke about A.J. Brown, kind of made a statement, and it might be all that we have to react to. So you hear what Howie Roseman had to say about A.J. Brown. We'll get back to our Phillies, Sixers, Flyers topics. 4 for 4 day, to steal a phrase from my old friend. It is Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers starting to make their run. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers took down the Hornets in a thriller on Saturday as Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre both returned to action. Maxey wasted absolutely no time in getting back to himself in the big win.
Rebound Maxey, foot race with the dribble down the lane. Oh, man, he jammed it. Tyrese Maxey throws it down. Bridges got dunked on, posterized, and Maxey, one of the biggest dunks of the year.
Great call by Tom McGinnis right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The Sixers are now just a half game back of the Hawks for the 6th seed. They play the Heat tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Flyers, a huge win last night over the Stars. 2-1 the final in overtime. Trevor Zegras had the OT winner. The Flyers are now 2 points out of a playoff spot. They're off till tomorrow. They might get some additional help with Porter Martone, their first-round pick in the 2025 draft, signing over the weekend. He could make his NHL debut this week, something to keep an eye on. The Phillies lost 8-3 yesterday, dropping their opening series to the Texas Rangers. Turner, Schwarber, Harper combined 5 for 37 in the opening series. A slow start for them at the top of the order. They've got the Nationals tonight at 6:40. Taijuan Walker on the mound for the Phils. Foster Griffin goes for the Nats. Anthony Sanfilippo will join us coming up at 7:30 for his thoughts on the Phils weekend and the Flyers playoff push. Derek Gunn talks birds with us at 9:05. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
see their wonderful faces, check out youtube.com/975 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
It is 7 a.m. on this Monday morning. Kincade and Salciunas, what a great weekend for the Sixers and Flyers. There's a lot of people freaking out about the Phillies. And we have not talked about A.J. Brown for an entire hour. Until now. Not really much to update you on, but the league owners' meetings are happening right now. There's some stuff that we'll talk about probably later on this week. We don't have to do it right now, but there's new things that they're going to be voting for. They want to get back to the old ways of doing onside kicks, where not totally old ways where you can't do the surprise onside kick, but instead of having to wait till X amount of minutes left in the fourth quarter to do an onside kick, they're saying, hey, can we do this in the third quarter if we wanted to, or the second quarter if we wanted to? There has just been some rules that have been added to the league recently that are just unnecessary. Like
I hate the onside kick rule.
It's just weird, and it's because of the new kickoff, right? Because of the new kickoff format.
I hate the new kickoff.
Yeah, they just I don't get it. The NFL's been, but you know what? Doesn't matter because they could do 50 rule changes, and we hate all 50.
And it's
we're watching,
still going to be huge.
And we'll watch on Wednesday. We'll watch on Thursday. We'll watch on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whenever they're playing during the week, and Monday.
By the way, you are now getting really close to the draft, too, coming up right around
we're
the
less
corner,
than a month
too.
away for the NFL draft.
Wow, 25 days?
Andrew DeCecco in on Thursday.
Can't wait.
And the draft talk heated up. All right, so A.J. Brown yesterday was obviously a topic of conversation when it comes to Howie Roseman, because he had a chance to speak to some members of the media. But there really wasn't much of a difference yesterday. All right? Like, it's not like Howie Roseman went out there and said, all right, yep, we're trading A.J. Brown. But he addressed it, and he said, quote, I understand that there's interest in the A.J. Brown story, but my answer to any question on A.J. Brown is A.J. Brown is a member of the Eagles. From my perspective, anything you ask me about A.J. Brown, I'll go right back to that answer. He's getting tired of asked about it. Now, he understands that it's going to be asked. Like, he knows. He knows the job. For people that are probably going, why do you guys even ask him? Why do you guys even talk about it?
Why are they talking about it?
Because you never know when
There's no truth to this.
But you never know when he might say something different, right?
Yes.
You never know. You have to ask the question. And so he was asked about it yesterday, but he's saying, look, he is a member of the Eagles because he is. He is under contract. He's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. If a trade does not happen, it's A.J. Brown's decision to see how he acts, right?
Correct.
Does he hold out, hold in, right? That's the new term, hold in, so that you don't get fined. Like, what does A.J. Brown do if he does remain a member of the Philadelphia Eagles? I continue to say I want him on the Philadelphia Eagles. That stance has not changed, even though I get it, Johnny. Why are we excusing a guy that gave up on plays and created a lot of drama last year? I get it. I get why you asked that question.
I'll continue to shake my head. There was a standard of expectation that just – I know people are really thirsty for great players and everything like that, but but when people are going to half-ass it, I don't know why. That would never be – there are great athletes in this town and great managers in this town and coaches in this town that roll their eyes at people being like, yeah, we can accept it. I don't understand it. I don't understand. And I love A.J. Brown. I bought one of his jerseys.
Yeah.
I love A.J. Brown, but I didn't love last year. And I would look forward to seeing A.J. try. I can't count on him now. I can't trust him now. So that's just me. I can't trust that it's going to be full effort, dedication, not being distracted by a 4-0 start. It's going to be all about me. I'm going to be distracted and pissed about it. I can't do it again. Not doing it again.
Well,
and I don't think they're doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I don't think they're doing it.
Post June 1st, right? Like from if there's no trade day one of the draft, then it's not happening until after June 1st if it does indeed happen. Some other things from Howie Roseman, because it wasn't just about A.J. Brown, even though some of the things were about A.J. Brown. They asked him about the signing of Elijah Moore. We talked about this last week when the Eagles signed Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore really, really tight with A.J. Brown. We were wondering, could this be some sort of play to try to make A.J. Brown happy? He was asked about that. Quote, everything that we're doing is based on the particulars of the players. Nothing we're doing is to do favors. We're basing players based on what they can bring to the team. So he did not say.
Thank you, Howie.
Yeah, we brought in Elijah Moore to try to make A.J. Brown happy. He was asked about Jalen Phillips. Straight up said they wanted to keep Jalen Phillips. But he said, quote, at some point, you've got to have a kind of parameters of what you would do, what you wouldn't do, so you're doing it in calm times. Happy for him and his family. Really enjoyed having him as a part of our team. Understood why he's in Carolina. He got paid.
I loved that answer from Howie, too, because it's okay to be grateful and happy for somebody who cashes in. Just be happy for him.
Yeah, you have a walkaway number. And Jalen Phillips got freaking paid, man. Even his biggest fan. I wasn't paying him that money. That was insane.
But you were borderline devastated
that
he left
last year.
That he left.
I cried a little bit.
You did. You got a little upset.
All right, another thing to talk about with Howie Roseman, safety. Because Reed Blankenship gets paid not bank-breaking money with Houston.
Which still
kind of surprised us.
I'm very shocked at the number that he signed for that the
Eagles could not match that or did not want to.
They obviously didn't want to.
Right.
Because they could have afforded that.
So what do they do?
Could have afforded that, I should say.
He says, quote, it starts with using our second-round pick, Drew Makuba, right? They drafted him high.
Got to use him.
See a lot of growth from the first to second year and expect that from him. Really excited about him. I think we have some guys that either we brought back or that we signed that we have confidence in that can play the position. I don't agree with Howie Roseman at all. I think he's lying to you. And again, I go back to the original thing. We don't play for a long time, and we still have a draft. We still have a lot of players that are available. More players will come available after the draft. In some shape or form, we will add at that position. There is no way that they are saying, yeah, we like this room. We're good. I don't even like the room with Drew Makuba in it. I don't know enough of him. We have not seen enough. We saw him struggle, some rookie mistakes that he made. Then he started playing a little bit better, then he got hurt, which, again, what's his story since college?
He gets hurt.
He's a smaller-bodied safety. So I think Howie Roseman is full of you-know-what when he says we like the guys that we have in the room. And then I think the real answer came toward the end that we still have time to add.
Well, I think, though, that they like – I don't think he's lying when he says that they like the guy. His answer.
No,
we like the guy.
The room overall.
They're lying about that. They're lying about that. They're going to add.
Yeah.
They have to add.
They absolutely.
And they're going to add. But I'm proud. I like that. I still can't get over the Reed Blankenship.
Yeah. Wasn't that much. Maybe they watched film the way I do. Yeah. A couple of football guys sitting together. Saying, that guy can't cover.
And they just said that
guy's a ball hawk, but you need a good guy next to him.
We think we can move on from it and do better, so that's what they're going to do.
And not pay that kind of money. One more thing, and then we'll get back to Davis Honda text line and have some fun with the Sixers and Flyers, and apparently the misery of the Phillies that a lot of people have. One more on Reek Woolen. Quote, supremely talented player. Does he have to be more consistent and hit that at times? For sure. There's a reason that a supremely talented player is available. He knows that. I think we have some insight to who the person is. We like to get really talented guys, and we think are good people that maybe not have had the caliber of the year that they're capable of. That doesn't guarantee anything, but we thought, based on where we were and the price point, that was a good fit for both sides. He got paid.
Did you hear that? Did you listen to that quote about Reek Woolen? Howie Roseman laid it all out there. Why he was available. Sort of laid out there the criticism that's out there about the player. And had no problem doing it. Now, I don't know if Reek Woolen's going to go out with a T-shirt, create a T-shirt or anything like that to be offended by it. Or if he's just going to say, yeah, Howie Roseman, what he said is right. That's what he said. That's the reputation that I got right now. And I'm going to prove them wrong. And he's going to be motivated to go prove them wrong. But Howie Roseman was very honest with the fan base there and told the fan base exactly sort of what Dave Dombrowski told the fan base.
Yeah.
And that's just the same commentary.
He also didn't say that Reek Woolen is a great player and he was one bad play away from winning something because Dave Dombrowski also does that.
That's a whole nother issue.
One bad throw, one bad pitch,
it is
one
interesting,
bad call.
though, about a player, though. He very much there threw a little shade at Reek, saying this is the reason that he was out there. This is the reason. The guy's got a bad reputation. Will it change here? Hopefully it does.
It's a little different. It's a little different saying that about a newly acquired third best corner on your team versus the face of the franchise.
Yeah, but what he said about Schwarber's the face of the franchise. But Bryce Harper is a guy who has got, God forbid he compared him to Freddie Freeman. I mean, my gosh, that's a slander. That's just slander. Especially now. I'd like Bryce to start playing like Freddie. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Freak out after 3 games.
No, I'm not either.
A lot of people are, apparently.
But it'd be nice. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are.
Yeah, let's check the poll another time. Davis Honda, that's next. The Dr. Avi Donapel Iron Mountain Men's Health Poll, right? Polls are strong. 4 hours every morning with us, 4 hours.
Afternoon's poll can't be as strong as ours.
Yeah, I mean, they're strong because Dr. Avi Donapel makes them. But, I just know that our polls are stronger here in the mornings, thanks to Dr. Avi Donapel. Connor, hit us with the updated totals on our poll because this is a big state of the city psyche poll, in my opinion, man.
The lead's growing. Our question, what's your biggest takeaway from this weekend's games? 55% now saying upset with the Phillies, only 45% saying excited for the Sixers and
The
Flyers.
Sixers and Flyers might give us something for the first time that we haven't seen in a decade, and that's having both teams in the playoffs in South Philly because the COVID bubble.
Sure.
We might see something that we haven't seen in a decade. This is the city of underdogs, right? Hungry dogs run faster, Rocky, all that kind of stuff. The Flyers are that. The Flyers are playing from behind.
They absolutely are.
Doing whatever they can to keep themselves alive. And
They're being scrappy.
They're being scrappy, muckers, grinders. They're young. They have not first-time head coach, but first-year head coach here in Philadelphia with Rick Tocchet. There's the old Flyer stuff associated with it, too. I would think people would get on that right now. And the Sixers, I get it. You want to talk about the Phillies bringing things to themselves? The Sixers have brought a lot of this upon themselves.
Correct.
I'm not going to get overly excited because somebody could get hurt and they could lose in the first round.
We're going to see it tomorrow night. Does Joel Embiid play in back-to-back games?
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday.
But we'll see it.
He's playing today. He's playing Wednesday.
We're going to see that. Do the Sixers look like they're starting to take things seriously?
Yeah.
And does Joel Embiid look like he's taking things seriously?
And
we're going to start to see it.
And right now, you look at the standings. They're
every
game
reason.
back of the 5 seed.
Correct. And it looks good.
And then that sets up a James Harden versus Sixers playoff series, Johnny.
That would be fun.
And what did I say when the trade happened?
You say James Harden.
I said James Harden to Cleveland helps the Sixers if they play each other in the series because it slows it down.
Well, I believe that. We know what James Harden is in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't even think about the Game 6 and Game 7s of him
Well,
peeing
all
himself.
you need to do is just get a playoff series to where it counts.
Right. I'm just talking about the style of play. That Cavs team beat the crap out of you this year before James Harden because they just kept going, and Embiid could not keep up. You play the Cavs with James Harden. I said it at the trade after the trade deadline. I'll say it again today. You play the Cavs. I like that series. I like that.
Well, you like the series to have they got a big fighter's chance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I
love
do.
that.
All right. The poll is disappointing me that people are more upset with the Phillies than they are excited Sixers Flyers.
I said it to Connor in his ear. I said, I hate a negative poll. I don't like the negative poll.
Well,
but it shows that a lot of people that's where they live.
Well, the poll doesn't have to be negative. This could be positive. You could be heavily excited for the postseason run, but people are taking the 3 games the Phillies have played into account more than full seasons for other teams.
And look, a lot of it is because of worse since. Have not done this since. And that's 2015. We went through it earlier. Matt Gell put out the team batting average is the worst to start a season since 2015. I get it. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's 3 games.
My God.
What about the next 3 games? What if the next 3 games they hit 600?
And then they're going to say it's the greatest. I mean, come on.
They play the Nationals. They're going to win 2 out of 3 at least in this next series.
Oh, you hope.
They're going to. I'll tell you right now, they're going to.
CT
and
guarantee?
Everything's going to be. It's the Nationals. That's not even worth a CT guarantee. That team stinks.
Wow.
I'm wondering, is it
You're facing a creative player tonight on the mound. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, I know. What's his? I already forget his
Foster
name.
Griffin.
Foster Griffin. I said to
Isn't
Connor.
he on Family Guy?
Probably. I said to Connor and John before the show started, I was like, I refuse to believe that this guy's a real person. MLB The Show spit out that name.
Foster Griffin.
Foster Griffin. That is not a real person.
I think he was a villain. I think he was a lawyer on The Young and the Restless.
It probably was.
At one time.
That
guy sounds like a soap opera name.
That guy doesn't exist. I refuse. I don't think the Phillies are actually playing tonight. I think MLB.com is messing with my brain. All right, what do we have on the Davis on a text line? Feel the Davis difference in Burlington. All you negative Nancys about the Phillies are allowing it so much to ruin your time with the Sixers and Flyers. It's like the guy that's going to a party but missed 30 minutes of it because of traffic. You're still at the party. You're having a good time. You're allowing the traffic to ruin your day. What do we got?
Joe from Media checks in, and he says, I wouldn't be surprised if the poll ends up with the Phillies on top of that one. Anybody who could not be excited about what's happening with the Flyers and the Sixers right now just doesn't understand sports. But he does say what frustrated me the most about the Phillies weekend was that they stick to their ridiculous game plans. Why in the world would Rob Thompson sit the 2 hottest batters on the team, Marsh and Stott?
that to me, and I didn't bring it up today. I made it an hour and 14 without bringing up Rob Thompson. And I just, even after digging up 5 quotes from last year where Rob Thompson talked about the fact of where he didn't use his closer in tie games. 5 different quotes.
So
Don't use your closer in a tie game, and why Rob Thompson believes it's not smart to use your closer in a tie game. But yesterday, in a tie game, it's smart to Saturday, it's smart to use your closer in a tie game. So again, the man says one thing and does another, and it just drives me nuts. And I had to go and I just had to do the word search and go. I know that the man has tried to convince me before that there was a reason why he would use it. And Rob Thompson just does things. He says one thing and does another all the time. I can't listen to his press conferences. I can't listen to him describe strategy because I don't think he has it.
All right. Well, to answer the texter's initial point with Marsh and Stott,
Come on.
They faced the lefty pitcher. Yes. That's what they're going to do all year.
yeah, they're like, what are we going to do?
That's the
because
plan.
they had a
gonna
good
do it.
opening day. All of a sudden, the platoon goes out the window in games 2 and 3.
Look, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and they said they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they're
going to do it.
That's their plan. So like I get it. If a guy's hot, you want to keep him in the order. It's 2 games into the season.
They
You
said
have a
they're going to
plan.
do it.
You're not going to rip up the sheet. If Bryson Stott hits 300 for the month of March/April, all right, then maybe we reevaluate. But right now, it's game 3. Their plan was to have a platoon. Now, if you want to talk about the platoon mates, we can. Otto Kemp, we were going to get into this later. We still will. That dude is atrocious in the outfield.
Yeah.
Otto Kemp. You want to know why I get so upset about guys like Otto Kemp? Oh man, it's just one guy. He has to be really good at one thing if he's going to be a platoon, and in his case, it has to be hitting.
It has to be him.
And if he's not going to hit the ball, he can't play because that dude sucks in the field. He was a bad third baseman, and I'm not trying to be harsh, but he was a bad third baseman, and he's going to be a bad left fielder. And so this guy has to rake if he's going to play. It's my backup catcher theory that I always say. You either have to be an elite fielding catcher or you get by with the not-so-great defense, but Chris Coase hits 318 for you, right?
Correct.
You go, all right, at least every 5th day, I have a guy that's serviceable back there, but man, if he connects, he can connect. Same goes with platoon mates. You got to be good at one or the other things, which is why Otto Kemp, a guy that has not shown success at the major league level, for Dave Dombrowski to be like, oh, yeah, championship-type player. I'm sorry. That's a PR spin that I'm not ready to sign up for because you ran out of options. If he can't play the field, he can't play.
He cannot.
Unless he's raking.
He's a quad A player.
Connor?
Yeah, he's not good defensively. He was never on this team defensively. They tried to force him into a position change last year just to get him to the major league level because of AAA. He was raking. We'll see if he hits. If he doesn't hit, he shouldn't be out there. You're absolutely correct. But that's the Otto Kemp experience, right? No one thought he was going to be a good defender this year. He's on this team to hit.
But he has to, he has to have a reason to be in the lineup. And it's only one game, so I'm not going to freak out. But I'm just telling you, he has to hit. Let's talk about this now in 2026. Otto Kemp has to really be a factor offensively.
Correct.
Because if he's not, he can't be on the field.
Totally fair.
And he's not. And you expect what?
Well, out of him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That he's not. Do you expect him to be a big factor offensively?
What do you think from me?
Exactly.
No.
It's
don't.
just look. He's a quad A player. That's
No,
what he is.
we'll see. It's 3 games.
Yeah,
well, for him,
plays
it's
out.
1.
By the way, you know what this poll basically tells me, and we talk about this all the time.
Is what?
People live their life reacting to negative more than positive all the time. Go to any Yelp review or whatever. What are the review? Yelp's one of them.
Yelp's one of them.
Well, Yelp's like
TripAdvisor if you travel.
People leave negative reviews more than they leave positive reviews. Because if it's positive, you expected it, right? I paid a lot of money for this experience. I expected it to be good. I paid money and it was bad. I'm going to voice my frustration on social media for the people that do this. I don't. Social media, Yelp reviews. I'm going to tell all my friends about how bad it was. Never go to this establishment. Never go to this hotel. Never fly this airline, even though you may just had one bad experience and nobody else did.
You ever seen the people that do that? They're traveling and it's like, United Airlines, I want you to know.
Yeah.
My family's been in line for 4 hours and they're tweeting like.
But did they ever put out the tweet that says, man, United Airlines, such a great experience. No, you don't see that.
I did a tweet because praising the team that flew us to
St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. Told the airline American, this crew is the greatest crew you could ever have.
Yeah.
These people were amazing. And I just said, whoever's on this crew, these are the kind of people you want representing your airline. And the American tweeted me back.
Yeah, they were probably happy.
And said, we will make sure that these people get recognized because and then they DM and said, thank you, we don't get these.
No, it's usually negative. And that's why this poll speaks
we don't get
to
these.
society.
This crew was so good though. I was like, you got to put it to because they were so good. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Like the way that they did it.
Game proper
and
credit.
it was like, but people just don't do that.
No, people would rather complain about the Phillies
and be mean
3-game
and
series
be awful to people
than celebrate the Sixers and Flyers big weekends.
Come on.
And oh, by the way, one playoff is not happening until October. The other two potential starts next month. It's March 30th. This month is almost over.
And again, our best Octobers have been when we've had our worst April, May into June.
Damn right.
Last year. So just saying.
All right, coming up next. Quiet weekend for the Phillies in terms of success. Major weekend for the Flyers on and off the ice with Porter Martone. We get to get into both teams with Ant Sanfilippo. Next, it is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, if you've been considering getting engaged, I want you to know this. Benari Jewelers is having their April bridal event, and it is the most spectacular sales event of the year. It's going to be fantastic. Next weekend, you're going to get Benari Jewelers' unbeatable price, but during the sale, it will be absolutely next level. I want you to put it on your calendar because we're going into April. It's April 10th, 11th, and 12th. So after Easter weekend, you put this on your calendar, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. It's available for you, Exton and Newtown Square. So you've got plenty of time to put it on your calendar and to be there for up to 20% savings. With 3 days on savings on all of Benari's fabulous rings and bands, and with top designers showcasing their entire lines. With interest-free financing with approved credit. Go to BenariJewelers.com and find out more details about it. But I want you to plan on it. So no matter what cut, size, style you're looking for, you're going to find them all, and you're going to love the price, and you're going to love the interest-free financing. But it's from my good friends at Benari Jewelers. These folks are amazing. Exton and Newtown Square. I parked in front of the Newtown Square location to go to dinner the other night. Sorry about that, Benari. I wasn't going in shopping. Hey, it's awesome. Benari Jewelers, Exton and Newtown Square. Their April bridal event comes up the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A huge win for the Flyers. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers had a perfect weekend as they're heading into the final month of their regular season. The Flyers had a big win over the Stars last night, 2-1 in overtime, and Trevor Zegras was the hero in that overtime period. Here's how it sounded on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Cut around Mikko Rantanen up the right wing in at the Dallas line. Zegras looking at the net, shoots, he scores! The overtime winner! Trevor Zegras ends it with his 23rd goal of the year.
The Flyers are now just 2 points out of a playoff spot. They are off until tomorrow. They also might get some help here this week. Porter Martone was signed over the weekend. He was the first-round pick of the Flyers in 2025. He could make his AHL debut as early as this week, something to keep an eye on. The Sixers beat the Hornets in a thriller on Saturday. Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre both returned to action. Maxey got back to himself. It was good to see Oubre. And now the Sixers are just a half game back of the Hawks for the 6th seed. They play the Heat tonight at 7. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. Phillies lost 8-3 yesterday, dropping their opening series to the Rangers. Turner, Schwarber, Harper combined 5 for 37 in the opening series. They've got the Nationals tonight at 6:40. First NL East game of the season. Taijuan Walker faces Foster Griffin. We'll talk to Anthony Sanfilippo of On Patterson coming up next for his thoughts on the weekend for the Flyers and the Phillies. I'm Connor Thomas from the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Fanatic app.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know what, John? I have a theory.
What's the theory?
The poll is shifting, and I'm talking about the poll on social media here.
I'm glad I didn't need that announcement from you.
The excited for Sixers Flyers has now taken the lead over the Phillies, upset with the Phillies. You know what I think it is? People don't like waking up early on a Monday morning, so maybe the grouchy people were up early.
Well, the thing is though is I got to tell you this.
We're a different breed, John.
But the weird thing is though is everybody on our show and everybody behind the scenes, if we're talking about, Austin and Rodman, none of us come in grouchy.
No.
Which is weird. You got 5 guys getting up every morning
ready to go.
And nobody comes in like, nah. It's one of the things I love about you guys.
Damn right, man.
It's probably the thing I love the most about you.
It's one of the things I love the most about Anthony Sanfilippo.
Well, I got to tell you, now he's never grumpy with me. Yeah.
Got to hang out with him a little bit at the ballpark.
He's a good dude.
Saw him both Thursday and Saturday.
He's never been grumpy with me, yeah. Yeah, we disagreed on Tortorella a lot, but he's very grumpy and he's very.
You mean
informed.
Vegas Golden Knights head coach
John
I love
Tortorella?
That.
He's talk about the biggest gamble. That's a great gamble.
They're a wild card team. And they fire their coach and they say, "Let's bring in Torts."
That's amazing.
Why not? Let's roll the dice.
My buddy's a VP with the Golden Knights, and I said, this is going to be fun to watch.
That's awesome. It's a nice little storyline. But we're not talking about the Vegas Golden Knights, but we are talking hockey. Phillies, they had a disappointing start to the season. A lot of people are freaking out. Flyers, however.
Oh, yeah.
A monster win Saturday. A monster win, yes, even more monster yesterday. You were happy with just the point. They get 2.
That's awesome.
Zegers scores it in overtime. They beat the Stars, and now we're looking not too far up at the playoff point totals for both the Metro and the Wild Card.
It's amazing.
From On Pass, and he covers both the Phillies and Flyers, so we can double dip our man Anthony Sanfilippo. And good morning, man. How are we?
Oh, I'm doing great, boys. What a weekend this was in Philadelphia sports, I'll tell you. And the one thing, I know we're not going to talk about Tortorella. I just wonder if there's a podcast out in Las Vegas that'll aggravate him a little bit. So I'm just wondering if one exists out
I
there.
can hook you up with one, maybe. I said I can find you one there. There's one, I think it's like
work.
Night Me or something like that.
We'll get that figured out.
Yeah.
All right, and so let's lead with the positive. Something Philadelphia Sports Talk never does, right?
They hate it.
The positive is the Flyers' incredible win last night against the Stars, but they also got the big news. Porter Martone signs the 3-year entry-level deal. When are you expecting him to be on the ice with the Flyers?
He will play tomorrow night in Washington. Barring anything happening with physical, he fails a physical or some kind of paperwork goes awry today, I expect he will play tomorrow. The team is not practicing today, not surprising because they didn't they played back-to-back games, so they usually take the day off after the day after that. But you're going to see Martone and probably the guys who were healthy scratches on the ice anyway. This will count as his practice, quote unquote, that they wanted to get in before he played. He'll play tomorrow in Washington.
That is such good news for fans. But what can they expect of Porter Martone? What do you think is the expectation of what we should think for this young man?
Well, what we should have as an expectation and what the expectation will be, John, are two completely different things. The expectation should be he's a rookie coming into the NHL, and you want to see him develop nicely in a situation where he's gaining experience playing at the NHL level. Yeah, these games matter, but let's let him develop slowly and get there.
But we know Flyers Twitter. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
we know what Flyers Twitter is.
It's going to be completely different. They're going to expect him to be this major goal scorer, and if he isn't, it's going to be the coach's fault.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what's going to happen. So just pointing that out to everybody.
So we're having a lot of fun with this team, and there are, as Johnny mentioned, Flyers Twitter. Not everybody, but it's like split. It's either they have to win the Stanley Cup, or if they don't make the playoffs, they stink. There's no middle ground with the Flyers. So
nope.
Curious, your thoughts on this team before the season started and how much they've changed, especially during this recent incredible stretch.
Yeah, first of all, I think that Cinderella has changed sports a little bit, right? We no longer get the Cinderella runs in the NCAA tournament that you used to get, ever since NIL money and the transfer portal. It's just all the blue bloods. Well, now Cinderella's found her way to hockey because that's exactly what the Flyers are doing. They're surviving and advancing each day and getting closer and closer, and everybody's excited by it. And I'll tell you that up until mid-January, I had been preaching. I thought that this was a playoff team. There's still flaws. There's still, a lot. They're not where they want to be. They still need a number one center. They still need number one defense and all that. But you also at the time looked at it and said, the league is not great, right? I mean, there's a handful of really good teams in hockey and then the rest of the league beyond that. And I said, well, the Flyers could certainly be in that next mix of teams. There's no reason they shouldn't. When they had that terrible run, right, leading up to the Olympics, that was as bad as it got. And you sit there and go, there's no way they can overcome this. There's just no way they can overcome it. Historically, you just don't come back from that kind of bad stretch and make the playoffs. It just does not happen. And yet here they are on the cusp of it. In a lot of ways, controlling their own destiny. Yeah, I mean, they're assuming they lose a game or two here in the final 9, they're going to need a little bit of help. But they basically have, the control here. If they keep winning, they're going to just catch teams. They're not going to need other teams to help them out. So it's a fascinating story. I got to give Rick Tock and his coaching staff credit for this. They recognized what was wrong with the team in January. They saw that it was a complete collapse of their defensive structure. John, you're a hockey guy. You've been watching this. Like you saw how bad that defensive structure was, right? And what it is now, it's a team playing with confidence and belief in that structure and belief in that system. And they're going out there and they're holding really good teams like the Dallas Stars to 1 goal and limited chances, and shutting down the second best power play in the NHL, with the game on the line. Those are things that would never have happened before the Olympic break.
I'm more shocked too. Is the fact is what I love about it is they're playing hockey that translates to the postseason.
Yeah,
this is the kind of hockey that translates to winning in April and May, and so that's what makes it exciting. Is they could get in, and there's a good chance they do get in. And if they did get in, it's the kind of hockey, and they're getting goaltending that they weren't getting a couple months ago. You can speak to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what it all comes down to, right? I mean, everybody gets excited by the goal scorers and the fancy plays and the speed of the game. And I understand it, and it is a part of it. I'm not trying to dismiss that. I mean, you obviously need to score to win, right? You can't win by not scoring. But in the end, if you're going to win games in the postseason, if you're going to get there and be a team that's a hard out and maybe go on a run, it all has to start from the goaltender out. And Dan Wildar's easily been their MVP for the year as their best player, most important player this season. But you can't knock Sam Ersson for what he's done the last 5 games. And I've been calling for them to get rid of Sam Ersson, to move on from Sam Ersson. But his last 5 starts, he's been as good as he's ever been. And I don't know what happened with him. Maybe he just needs to not be in the spotlight, have the pressure of being the number 1 guy and just plays, once every 5 games or whatever the case might be. That guy has been really, really good for them. And it's carrying them. The defense and goaltending is carrying the Flyers right now, and they're right there. They have I'm starting to think that they're going to find their way in because yeah, I mean, look, you lose one game, and all of a sudden it goes back a little bit, right? And you don't have much runway left. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, is there another team in hockey playing this well?
No. In fact, there isn't. That's the crazy thing. There isn't. They're the best team right now. They're playing the best hockey in the NHL over the last 12 or 11 games.
Yeah, they are. It's unreal. It's like I'm out of words about it. It's crazy.
All right, and real quick, because not only do you do a great job covering the Flyers for On Patterson, you also do a great job covering the Phillies. Saw you at the Yard the other day. It was nice to see you both Thursday and Saturday. The Yard. It's been 3 games. Nothing to totally freak out about, but people are. Your biggest takeaways from the opening series for the Phillies and some of the individuals against the Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is what everybody's concerned about, and it's the offense, right? I mean, Luzardo didn't have a great game yesterday. That's fine. All right. Pitchers are going to have those kind of games. Really, when you look at it, it was, just a couple of bad pitches, and it ends up hurting them because he had runners on base. But it's the hitting. I mean, when this is the worst their offense has been in an opening series since 2015, and we don't want to think back to the 2015 Phillies, right? I mean, that was a bad team. So, there's some concern there in that, the way the teams pitch. Like, I look at the way Trey Turner, for example, he said that he felt okay at the plate, and his at-bats have been good. I don't see that. Like, teams are pitching him below the zone. He's chasing a little bit. A guy like Adolis Garcia, who in spring training only struck out 5 times in 49 plate appearances, has struck out 5 times this weekend. And you look at that and sit there and go, okay, he's starting to chase again. He was supposed to be, less of a chase guy. And Rob Thompson says, well, they're trying to do too much. And I get it. You want to get off to a good start. You're a little jumpy and you're swinging at things you shouldn't swing at. The Rangers pitched them well. The Rangers said, we're going to throw strikes over the plate, and then we're going to get you out by making you chase. And the Phillies have to figure that out because as a team collectively, I want to say, of the 14 or 13 hitters in the lineup, maybe 10 of them are just out there chasing at pitches and not hitting. And that's not a good start.
No, not at all. And listen,
Thanks,
man, thank you as always. I'm really hoping that we can continue this Flyers talk through the month of April.
That'd be a lot of
sound?
fun.
Yes, it would be. Love to talk about it with you boys.
All right, we appreciate it. There he is, Anthony Sanfilippo from On Patterson. Both Flyers and Phillies coverage for On Patterson. Great work. All right, coming up next, today's headlines with Connor Thompson. We did not get to it earlier. So can you please play what will be a historic highlight?
What, something happened last night in college basketball?
A highlight that will play every year, forever, when March Madness rolls around.
Absolutely.
That was my immediate takeaway, was not, wow, that was good for that kid. It was, that's going to be on CBS's coverage of March Madness forever.
As it should be.
You'll hear that coming up next. We'll check the Davis Honda text line as well. It is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Keep it locked into 97.5 The Fanatic all day. Coming up at 10.
for some reason, trust this Washington College guy to produce. Charity comes in many forms. Kincade Salciunas is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
Oh, we're talking about the Sixers and Flyers. Great weekend. Phillies not so great weekend. To start the 8 o'clock hour, here's a little teaser for you. We're basically going to redo the 6 o'clock segment, like the start of the show, because so much happened this weekend. But because so much happened, we could not get into everything. Like, there are Phillies angles that we didn't get into because the bats are the biggest story, but we kind of touched on it. The pitching wasn't so good either.
Oh, it wasn't.
So there's a lot to react to over the 3-game series for the Phillies where they dropped 2 of 3 to the Rangers. There's even more to talk about the Flyers. We barely got into Porter Martone. A lot of it because we don't know what we're going to see yet.
Look, all I know about Porter Martone is what I've watched of video highlights.
Yep.
And what I've read from people who are in the know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything on Porter Martone other than he's an awesome prospect.
And then the talking point of the Sixers is waking back up again. The team that nobody wants to face has been talked about nationally by a lot of people when they've been mocked a lot recently because of the Paul George suspension and Embiid always being hurt, the Jared McCain trade. Now all of a sudden the Sixers are once again the team that nobody wants to face. So we got a lot to unpack to start the 8 o'clock hour with you on the Davis Honda text line. What do we got, Connor? 610-632-0975. Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington.
All right, so we have a check-in from John V, who says, at least the Phillies bats picked up where they left off in the postseason. It can only go up from here with a couple question marks. So he says, I heard AutoZone is closing all their Philadelphia locations.
Hey, I'm going to be quiet on that one. Well, no, I probably won't be able to. But
no, you won't be.
I won't be able to. It's just another Dave Dombrowski living off his resume moment. It's early, though, so I'm not going to overreact just yet. Time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
It's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. Duke fans might need to give a little call because they had a tough weekend. They got to be feeling hurt today. If you missed it, I don't know how you did last night. UConn with an insane comeback, 19-point deficit, erased in the second half, and the way they finished things off, Braylon Mullins with the shot of his life.
Get it into Boozer, back for Sarr, ahead, Boozer, that ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds, Mullins tosses it up. Ah! It's good! With point 3, UConn goes in front.
Dude, Iron Eagle is so good. And it makes me sad because how would Nance, I wish Nance was still around. Iron Eagle's doing a great job.
Iron Eagle does a great job.
He has stepped up, man, because how many times have we talked about replacing a legend is a hard thing to do.
Brutal.
And Nance is so good in March.
Now, Nance is still going to be at the Masters next week.
Yeah, he's still doing the Masters.
So he'll still be at the Masters because he used to go right from the Final Four to the Masters.
Right.
Man, what a great gig that is.
Must be. But Iron Eagle setting up the moment was great.
He did that's a great call.
And again, that play, Coop's going to be watching when he's sneaking out of school to watch the tournament, many, many moons from now. That play is going to, that highlight, that moment is going to play at the opening coverage of March Madness forever. Forever. It's one of the biggest shots ever. And it wasn't even to win the damn tournament.
Dad, do you remember that?
I'll be like, yes, son.
Yeah, now, by the way, this is when the group text helps. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Because I had tuned out. I had tuned away, and then you guys alert me to go back. I had tuned out. I go back. Thank God.
Great comeback.
You'd miss it, and I would have missed.
You never know what's going to happen in March.
Our bracket's still alive.
UConn, baby.
Because we had the Kincade and Salciunas and Connor bracket. Has UConn somehow winning it? And you know what? Who knows at this point? All right, what else we got?
UConn still dancing. Derek Shelton not dancing. He is the manager of the Twins. For those that don't know, not a lot of people all in on Twins baseball. And he became the first casualty, ejection-wise, of the automatic balls strikes system in the matchup with the Orioles. Here's what it sounded like. A great call here.
And Helsley drops in a slider that is called ball 4.
I think he
did challenge.
The pitcher is challenging.
Oh, the pitcher is challenging. With the first pitcher challenging, no! And Derek Shelton is incensed. He didn't think Helsley got that off in time. And Derek Shelton's been thrown out. He's arguing with the robots. You can't defeat the robots.
You can't defeat the robots.
He was arguing the timeliness of it. If you watch it, Helsley taps his hat immediately.
I told you guys this, though, like a month ago. You have to both physically and verbally indicate.
You have to do both. The player was in the wrong.
Well, now here's the question.
Player's in the wrong.
Well, hang on. If Helsley taps his hat and the catcher says something, do they combine to make a physical and verbal indication? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
It has to. No. It has to be physical and verbal, but not by two different people. It has to be physical and verbal.
Here's another really interesting. John Kruk, shout out to Krucker. I was watching the game. This was the Saturday game. There was a check swing. And JT, as the catcher, your immediate reaction is to point to whichever third or first base umpire to see if the swing's checked. If they say no swing, but he also thinks it's a strike,
then
now
is
it's
it past
too late.
the time?
It is. So that's another inch. That's something that shout out to John Kruk, the first person I heard mention that. Like, what happens on the check swing? Are you immediately tapping because you think it was a strike? Or are you afraid to burn the challenge? You want to point, but what if you get both? They both don't go your way.
It's a tricky thing.
It's
There's
tricky.
some kinks that need to be ironed out.
By the way, players are starting to complain. Those high curveballs and high sliders pitchers aren't trying to do it. It's mistake pitches. And they're clipping by the seam of the baseball. Some people are saying this is why they should just go automatic, like no challenge, just go automatic.
This is why we need, they can get it right and it counts.
But
Just
people
get it
are
right.
wondering, should a certain amount of the ball have to go through the zone for it to be a strike? I saw one yesterday where literally the seam of the baseball scratched the surface, strike.
Does a certain amount of the ball have to go through? That's not.
No, I know. It's what makes this difficult because there are calls are being called strikes because of the robot when they never have been. And it makes it really interesting.
It's going to be an adjustment, but it's a strike. Just because stuff wasn't called strikes incorrectly doesn't mean that we can't get it correct.
By the way, CB Buckner had a rough day.
Man, 0 for 6, right?
8 challenges. 2 of them he was right on.
So he's
it was 6 straight.
6 straight
that he was wrong on.
And he's terrible.
Yeah, he's bad.
So he's bad.
He's been in the league he's probably just losing his eyesight. He's been around forever.
Again, why are we having officials that are that old? It shouldn't be.
Eyesight takes
No,
a hit
eyesight's
over
not good. And speed, like in the NFL with the speed, too.
Yeah. Not everybody can be Ed Hockley, man. All right, coming up next, we recap the weekend with you. So much that happened that we probably even missed some things. That's the beauty of a 4-hour show, Johnny. Sixers, Flyers, incredible weekends. Phillies, not so much. We'll react and recap all of it with you and some of the other storylines that we haven't touched on, like the pitching that we went into the season saying that's what's going to win in the division. Not a great start for Nola and Luzardo. Sixers, Flyers, though, and they got me ready to go on a Monday morning. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers back to full strength. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers had a perfect weekend as they're heading into the final stretch of their season. The Sixers beat the Hornets in a thriller on Saturday. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre both back on the court from injury, and Maxey wasted no time getting back to himself.
Rebound Maxey, foot race with the dribble down the lane. Oh, man, he jammed it. Tyrese Maxey throws it down. Bridges got dunked on, posterized, and Maxey, one of the biggest dunks of the year.
Great call by Tom McGinnis here on 97.5 The Fanatic. The Sixers are just a half game back to the Hawks for a 6 seed. They play the Heat tonight at 7. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Flyers, a big overtime win against the Stars last night, 2-1 the final. Trevor Zegras, the winner, and now the Flyers are just 2 points out of a playoff spot. They're off till tomorrow. Porter Martone, their 2015 first-round pick, signed a deal with the team over the weekend. He could make his NHL debut this week. Ansan of On Pattison joined us earlier. He said he expects him to play the next game for the Flyers, so something to watch there. Phils lost 8-3 yesterday to the Rangers. They dropped their opening series. A rough start for the offense. They play the Nationals tonight at 6:40. Foster Griffin versus Taiwan Walker. We'll talk to Derek Gunn at 9:05. This update is brought to you by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Drivers 50 and over can count on the Hartford Auto Insurance protection that brings peace of mind. The Hartford, your protection is their passion. Provided by the Hartford Insurance Group, Incorporated. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
but they're really not that bad, at least most of the time. Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind.
Thank you, Ricky Pitalico. It is 8 a.m. here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All I know about Ricky Pitalico is the Phillies are 1-0 when he throws out the first pitch. They are 0-2 when he does not.
By the way, I think he may be more effective throwing out that pitch than Aaron Nola.
Maybe. He threw to Aaron Nola, by the way. Maybe Aaron Nola could have asked him a
Aaron
thing or
Nola
two.
maybe giving him a little lip. I don't know.
Aaron Nola did ask him something, per reports. He was like, I thought you'd have a little more velo.
Yeah, and I think Ricky could probably keep it in the park better.
Probably could. It's been a rough go for Aaron Nola over the years with the long ball. So here's what we're going to do. We're basically redoing the 6 o'clock segment. Is this live? Is this recorded? You be the judge. The Phillies had a 3-game series with the Rangers. We all know that it started Thursday. Great win for the Phillies, but then the weekend happened. So we'll start there, and then we'll get to the excitement because we should spend a lot of time on what both the Sixers and Flyers were able to accomplish this weekend. Flyers playing for their lives, and as Ant Sanfilippo said to us about a half hour ago, is there any team in hockey playing better than them?
No.
Right now? It's
well, there's the answer. There's not.
The answer is no.
How about
that's
that?
Beautiful. And what a time to do it. March 30th, dude. It's March 30th. We're about to enter the month of April with 2 teams that we get to watch every single night and say, oh, my God, could you imagine if they win this game? And then you're starting to watch teams like the Atlanta Hawks. You're watching teams that you don't care about normally. That's the beauty of this late season push. Phillies, though, it did not start off great. They're 1-2 to start the season. And obviously, we talked a lot about the offense early on in the show because that's the big story, because that's where all the money is. A lot of the money is on the offense, much like the Eagles. It's all the money is at the offense.
There you go.
Majority of it, I should say. And it has not been a good start for the Phillies. The worst hitting performance in an opening 3-game stretch for the Phillies since 2015. That was not a fun time. Your 2015 Phillies was 36-year-old Carlos Ruiz, 35-year-old Ryan Howard. By the way, the ages play a factor here. Cesar Hernandez, Freddie Galvis, Michael Franco, Cody Ascio, Odubel Herrera, Jeff Francoeur. Chase was on that team before he got traded. Again, age plays a factor. And this Phillies team has gotten old. And they ran it back. And Dave Dombrowski was comfortable with it. But the bigger thing to take away is the pitching wasn't great this weekend. It wasn't. I mean, Nola wasn't good.
I mean, come on.
Luzardo wasn't good. Am I panicking?
No.
But they weren't good. And that's the strength of this team. I bet you every national reporter in the world will say the offense. Right? How many times do we have this conversation? The ESPN, the Fox, they write these articles, and it's, look at the lineup. On paper, how can you not pick this team? The strength of this team is the starting rotation. And when you have games 2 and 3, it wasn't
and it's
good.
still probably
No, it will be. I'm not.
And it still probably will be, but it was certainly not this weekend.
No, I didn't even think they were that bad. I got to be honest with you. Like, I thought the stuff looked really solid. Luzardo's sweeper was unbelievable early, and then he got burned. I think the toughest thing is the offense has turned into pressure for the pitching staff in this series, right? You don't get any run support early. You get behind.
You also give up runs early.
No, I know, but you get behind. What was the game that they won? You saw Kyle Schwarber hit a 2-run home run in the first inning, and Christopher Sanchez leading the way. He just felt comfortable. Now he's a better pitcher than Luzardo and Nola. But the other thing is, and this won't continue to happen, the Rangers, it felt like every time the Phillies made a mistake on the mound, they hit it out. It was kind of wild, especially considering the wind and the weather.
Dude, Jake Berger.
Yeah,
that's a big man.
You played a series where you're not going to see every mistake get punished, and it felt like every mistake got punished.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You talk about the early lead. Yeah, they had an early lead game 1, but they were down 1-0 in the top of the first inning in game 2. Noel gives up a home run right away. And then yesterday, it's,
go for ball, meatball city. It's this.
You're not going to score runs in the first 2 innings every single night. They were down 2-0 in the top of the 3rd inning yesterday.
And you got a gift that the bad thing is Nola puts you behind the 8 ball, and you get a gift that Jacob deGrom's not pitching. So you get that opportunity, and then the offense comes out like that. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Rough
but
start. It's not hitting season, Johnny.
But, and if I hear that anymore, just shut up with the hitting season stuff.
It's not hitting season.
Please stop. So, it's cold. It's March, so it's not hitting season. Really? Look like the Rangers had no problem.
Phil's 1-0 when it's 75 degrees or more.
Damn right, man.
Exactly.
During hitting season. So some takeaways from the opening series. I know we had a texter earlier that was upset that Bryson Stott didn't play yesterday. Be ready. This is what it's going to be against left-handed starting pitching. He's not going to start. He played game 2 because DeGrom was slated to pitch, and then they had DeGrom woke up with a stiff neck because that's just Jacob DeGrom, unfortunately, and they went with the lefty opener. They thought he was going to go a couple innings. He ended up going, 5 or 6? He pitched really well.
Yeah, I think he was relieved in the fifth.
He pitched really well
That
for
was
them.
unbelievable.
But Bryson Stott, 375 to start. Crawford, 333 to start. Marsh, 333 to start. So you got a couple of guys that are putting bat to ball, and then it plummets. Bohm, 200. Everybody else, Schwarber, 154 to start. Turner, 154 to start. Real Muto, 111. Garcia, Harper, both .091. But Trey Turner's happy about this start.
Oh, really? I got to hear this spin.
I don't know if you saw this.
I did not, so I got to hear this nonsense.
Our buddy Jeff Kerr, who I saw on Thursday at the opener, he talked to Trey Turner. Trey Turner is happy about the slow start because you just said something about the Phillies. The best 2 postseason runs during this core is when they had their worst starts.
And they did.
Trey Turner's best seasons have come during horrible springs.
He didn't say that, did he?
He's happy about it. In 2020, this per Jeff Kerr, 2020, he started off the season hitting 189, finished the season 335, then 170 turned to 328, and then last year 179 turned to 304. So maybe Trey Turner, maybe this is all part of his play, John. A little rope-a-dope. Gets you to start throwing fastballs down the middle of the plate, and he attacks.
Nah, he's not trying to start slow, but what he's trying to do is mentally remind himself, hey, I've started slow before. I've been fine. You talk yourself into saying, I'm comfortable in this position.
I get it.
It's incredible.
Kind of joking around.
It's incredible. The nonsense of just the spin doctoring will occur. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about a baseball team 3 games in. I'm just not.
No, it's just not. You just want to have fun watching.
I want to, yeah. And on a Monday morning, with the weekend that we had, and the positivity that we had from 2 of the other teams, including 2 great stories, in the week of the resurrection, I'm just excited about it.
Sixers Flyers this past weekend. Sixers with the really nice win against the Hornets. They're down 11 after the first quarter, and then they cut it to 5 at halftime. Then the third quarter. Remember the third quarter and how bad it was over the course of the season.
It was horrendous. How about historically bad?
It was historically bad.
Yes.
They tie after the third quarter, 28-28, but they're still down 5, and then they outscore the Hornets in the fourth quarter. And Tyrese Maxey with the poster dunk over Bridges. Let's hear it again. Tom McGinnis on Saturday. This was Tyrese Maxey, coast to coast, left-handed poster jam.
Rebound Maxey, foot race with the dribble down the lane. Oh, man, he jammed it. Tyrese Maxey throws it down. Bridges got dunked on, posterized, and Maxey, one of the biggest dunks of the year.
I love that.
He's the best, and there's nothing better than a team going on a run, forcing the opposing team to call a timeout. And after a poster like that, forcing Charlotte to call a timeout.
I just love the Tom McGinnis. Tom McGinnis has such great energy.
He's fantastic.
It's unbelievable.
And again, it's not just that they beat the Hornets, and that's a big win for them because the Hornets are playing good basketball and they're behind them in the standings. It's how it looked. Embiid, 29 points, 36 minutes. The knee looked good. The block that he had at the end where he jumped and used all 7'2" of his frame and some because of him getting up and his arms going up and blocking the shot. He looked really good, 29.6 rebounds. Paul George, 26 points, 13 rebounds, 4 of 11 from 3. Tyrese Maxey, you heard the dunk, 26 points. He was 3 of 6 from 3. But the other important one, remember at the beginning of the season, we were like, wow, VJ Edgecombe really just slid right in and played well. When all those guys were out, VJ had to play a different role. He had to be the guy. And he stepped up, man. Amy brought it up to us last Friday. The fact that they went 13-12 during the Paul George suspension, which included like 17, I think she said, missed games by Embiid, and then the 9 games that Tyrese Maxey missed. The fact that they went 13-12, you start looking, and Oubre was out during a lot of that stretch too. You look at the guy, who was the guy that stepped up? It was VJ Edgecombe.
Sexy as hell.
It was sexy as hell. And on Saturday, 31 minutes, 13 points, 3 of 4 from 3. That helps spacing.
That certainly helps.
Played his role defensively. That is a really good offensive team in Charlotte. And the fact that VJ Edgecombe is playing defense as if he's like a vet in the league, and he's doing this as a rookie, and we're thinking, could he hit a wall at some point?
No.
Dude, he is not. He's incredible.
And that, to me, is the thing that has most impressed me with VJ Edgecombe, is that I kept waiting for there to be a wall. Because I was thinking to myself, is he going to hit his wall when Embiid and George come back? It does not appear to be the case. He is a young man with a motor like the Energizer Bunny.
And look, for all the deserving criticism that Daryl Morey gets,
yes, he's earned a lot.
He's also earned a lot of credit because everybody in this city, well, not everybody, a lot of people in the city wanted Ace Bailey.
Oh, they did.
Not saying Ace Bailey's going to be. Look, he's turned his season around a lot in Utah because they have to play him because they're sitting everybody else. But VJ Edgecombe was the selection that Daryl Morey made, and it was one that a lot of people criticized. And it's been a major hit for the Sixers so far this year in his rookie season. And that's the Sixers. We also had the Flyers, Johnny. And last night, against Dallas, goes to overtime.
Oh, my gosh.
Here's how it sounded yesterday here on the Fanatic. Trevor Zegras, winner.
Cut around Mikko Rantanen, up the right wing in at the Dallas line. Zegras looking at the net, shoots, he scores! The overtime winner! Trevor Zegras ends it with his 23rd goal of the year.
How did it sound in my house?
Dude, you're probably
screaming. Seriously, yes, it was quite loud.
And the beauty of this,
that was awesome.
So you guys know, and we'll unpack more about that Flyers win yesterday and what they've done. Sixers and Flyers games can all be heard here on the Fanatic. If there's ever a conflict where the Sixers and Flyers are playing at the same time, the Flyers games will be on our sister station, WMMR. So if you're looking for the place to listen to the game,
that's where it is.
You can find it here or MMR. This is why I can't wait for April playoff basketball and hopefully playoff hockey in Philadelphia. Sixers tonight, no conflict. Flyers tomorrow, no conflict. Sixers Wednesday, no conflict. Flyers Thursday, no conflict. Sixers Friday, Flyers Friday, so that Flyers game will be on MMR. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 o'clock tip-off or puck drops, you're listening to the games live here on the Fanatic.
There you go. That's a beautiful thing. It's so exciting right now, and hopefully everybody is feeling the energy. Look, the Sixers are in. By the way, they're already in.
Right.
So there's going to be – how about this? They're already in the play-in tournament. They're already guaranteed to be in the play-in tournament, and right now they're in a great position to be in the 7 or the 8. So they're going to have that opportunity to stick around.
Yeah.
And to have a couple chances to make the playoffs. But if they stick in that 7 seed, they get 2 chances at home to advance. And I may do what Amy is pissed about and root for the 8 seed. But
root for the 4 seed, baby. Or 5 seed. 5 seed and take down Cleveland.
Yeah, but they get the 8 seed, then they get to play that. That'd be awesome. I don't think the 5 seed's happening. I don't know.
It's very possible, man.
It is. No. That's where I'm going to disagree with you. I don't know about very possible. It's possible. It's possible, but I think the schedule for Raptors is pretty easy. Pretty easy. They have a game at Detroit. They have a game at Boston in their last 8 games, okay? Game at Detroit and a game at Boston. They have a game at the Knicks. They got Brooklyn, a home thing, one of those 2 home game things.
Yeah, that's a shame.
With Miami.
You wish it was both in Miami because then they get drunk and play really bad basketball.
They got Memphis. They got Sacramento.
You don't want it to come down to the final game where they play Brooklyn.
It's going to be really hard unless somebody's going to have to help you a little bit potentially with the Toronto Raptors.
Well, it starts tonight or tomorrow.
Who won
if they
the
lose,
season
if they lose
series
the
with the Raptors? That's what I got to check. Is with the Sixers. I'm going to look at that one right now and just see
it was the Sixers.
If the Sixers won, that would help big time.
Because the Hawks have the tiebreaker. I believe the Sixers have the tiebreaker.
That's what I'm going to look at and just see with that one because that's important. That means a lot because there's a really good chance those 2 teams could end up tied.
Yeah,
and
looks like they split. As I quickly
2-2.
Yeah, they split. So got to see what
I think it's
NBA
divisional. Then it's divisional record or something like that. The NBA's crappy with
it is.
Their standings are terrible.
I love how divisions don't matter until literally the tiebreakers.
Exactly.
All right, Connor, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. Davis Honda, we love them. It's been a very exciting day For some of us, there are people that are more worried about the Phillies than they are having fun with the Sixers and Flyers. I don't want to party with you ever. If you're one of the people that voted upset with Phillies on our Dr. Ivan Appel poll, which will update you coming up in a little bit, and not excited for Sixers or Flyers, I don't want to hang out with you. At least now.
No, it's just not. That's not fun.
What do we got?
Mike from Bristol is checking in with a voice memo today on the Davis Honda text line.
Hey, boys. Mike from Bristol checking in. Just wanted to speak on the weekend. Start with the 76ers. I'm super high on them after seeing that knockout game. Joel Embiid played great. Paul George looked good. Maxi's Maxi. He's going to be the best player in the league most nights. On the Flyers, super excited going to the game Thursday against the Red Wings. I'm hoping it's a competitive game, fun game. It's my first Flyers game that I've ever been to, so it's going to be a good time. Phillies, I'm not going to get too stressed out yet. I think Justin Crawford looked really good. I think Sanchez looked amazing. I'm excited to see Painter. Garcia, I think, is going to come into his own coming up soon. And Bryce isn't going to slump forever.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Bryce is not going to slump forever.
Yeah, he's not going to slump.
He's not. By the way, great news. The tiebreaker would drop down with Toronto to divisional record. The divisional record for Toronto is 4-10. For the Sixers is 9-7.
Let's go.
So that's already determined.
So 5
Toronto cannot. All you got to do is tie Toronto record-wise. You're one game behind them. So you got to tie Toronto, and you would be ahead of them. So
5 seed still up for grabs.
It's still up for grabs. No, it's still up for grabs.
Bring on the beer.
Their schedule's much easier though. Sixers have a 4-game stretch.
They do have it's a really difficult
a 4-game stretch that is extremely
T-Wolves,
difficult.
Pistons, Spurs, Rockets.
That's a brutal 4-game stretch there. I think let's just get out of the play-in tournament.
Yeah,
let's just get out of the play.
That would be nice. All right, what else do we have on the Davis Honda text? By the way, him going to his first Flyers game.
That's so much fun.
You picked a great. First off, you would have fun if they sucked. All right, because it's always fun going to the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Yeah, but when there's a game on the line, when something's on the line.
Yeah, this is like every game. You said it last week about the Columbus game, even though it sucked. Like a Game 7. Every game from here on out is a playoff game.
Oh no, it is.
Right? Like they're still out of it. They're still 2 points out. But every game moving forward is a playoff game for the Flyers.
If the Flyers win tomorrow night at Washington, Thursday night is going to be a zoo versus Detroit.
Love it.
It is going to be an absolute mess. Like it's going to be a mess. Like it's the crowd's going to go, is this happening? Like is this really happening?
Phil's off day too, so they're the only team in town playing. It's going to be a big one.
And again, no issues with Sixers broadcast.
Right.
We have Monday tonight Sixers, tomorrow Flyers, Wednesday Sixers, Thursday Flyers, all here on the Fanatic. All right, what else we got on the Davis Honda text line?
Steve checks in. He says the Phillies hitters can't hit. The Phillies pitchers are giving up way too many home runs. If this continues and the losses pile up, when will Don Mattingly take over as manager?
Here it is. Yeah.
Well,
I saw one of the reporters yesterday, forgive me, I don't know who it was, heard a fan scream, "Fire Rob," and then another fan responded with, "It's March 29th, you idiot." That was apparently a back and forth that a reporter heard.
Got to keep people in check.
I love it. All right, what else we got?
Mike from Phoenixville checks in and says, Phillies always start slow. They'll bounce back and win their 90-plus games. Hopefully, he puts in parentheses. But just once in this era of Phillies baseball, wouldn't it be nice if they started like 20-5 with a nice little cushion in the NL East going into the dog days of summer?
That has happened.
It has.
Yeah, so they don't always start slow. Now, we should not act like them starting slow is signs to come, like of worse baseball. But they don't always start slow. They were one of the best teams in baseball just 2 years ago to start the season. That's all right. We're going to rewrite it.
I will thank Phil, one of our fine listeners who does this, and he pointed out to a series of plays. He says, I found a series of opportunities where Rob Thompson also did not use his closer in a tie game, like he did the other day with Johan Duran.
Maybe you want him to get some work in.
Johan. But there you go. Yeah, that's great. But he explained that that's something he doesn't do, and then he does it. It's just this, I can never count on him. I can't count on him for strategy because he doesn't have any. I
mean, I didn't see anything wrong with going with Duran there.
I think there was an opportunity. Yeah, I mean, it's you can use him, but when you say that that's not what you do, and then you do it, you can't.
Yeah, but when he came in the 10th, right?
He pitched the 10th.
Yeah, so you start with the runner on base. Maybe they go, hey, we want him out
He
there.
doesn't like a runner on base, too, by the way. These closers, they don't like to start innings with runners on base.
Well, you're the closer. Tough nuts. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Sometimes runners are going to be on base.
Honestly, yeah, tough nuts. Tough nuts.
Get out there.
Tough nuts, Johan.
Coming up next, the only team we did not discuss this past segment was
Tough
the Eagles.
nuts.
And deservedly so. I mean, what Howie had to say about A.J. Brown, nothing new. But is this the calm before the storm? Are there post-March storms in Philadelphia for Howie Roseman? Is this an underrated #Howie season that nobody talks about? We'll go back to name some of the last couple of seasons, the players that he was able to pull off post the month of March. And they've helped out the Eagles. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Zegras Nets a winner. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers had a perfect weekend. They're heading into the home stretch for their postseason pushes. The Flyers a big win over the Stars, 2-1 last night in overtime, and Trevor Zegras played the hero for the Orange and Black.
Cut around Mikko Rantanen up the right wing in at the Dallas line. Zegras looking at the net, shoots, he scores! The overtime winner! Trevor Zegras ends it with his 23rd goal of the year.
Flyers are now just 2 points out of a playoff spot. They're off until tomorrow. Sixers beat the Hornets in a thriller on Saturday. Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre both returned to the lineup. The Sixers are a half game back of the Atlanta Hawks for the 6th seed. They play the Heat tonight at 7. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. Phillies lost 8-3 yesterday. They dropped 2 out of 3 in their opening series against the Rangers. They've got the Nationals tonight at 6:40. Foster Griffin on the mound for Washington. Taijuan Walker gets the ball for your Fightins. We'll talk to Derek Gunn coming up at 9:05 for the latest on the Eagles offseason. This update is brought to you by Papa John's. Introducing new pan pizza from Papa John's. Order a medium one-topping pan pizza. Just $11.99 when you download the Papa John's app or at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. That's Papa John's. And also brought to you by America 250. Celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Students, tell what America means to you for the chance to win a field trip experience. Details at america250.org. No purchase necessary. See official rules at america250.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
guys. Make sure you tune in Middays with Marks. You guessed it, with me, John Marks. That's coming up at 10 o'clock. Let's get back to more of Kincade and Salciunas right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, coming up later on this segment, John Kincade ran into a male Karen.
Oh, my gosh.
What's the name for the male Karen? Has that ever been figured out?
I don't know.
Like, because we all know the Karen thing.
Right,
right?
the Karen thing.
And I feel bad because there's probably very nice Karens.
There are.
Remember last year there was literally Phillies Karen? Do we remember that story?
Yeah, and down in Miami.
Stole the baseball.
Down in
A lot of
Miami.
bad stuff happened in Miami for the
She
Phillies
was,
last
by
year.
the way, a very popular Halloween costume in our
That's
neighborhood.
right. I wonder what happened of her because she just disappeared.
There were probably like 3. Remember, there were the fake story that she got fired and all that kind of stuff. She didn't get fired.
Yeah, none of that happened. I'm trying to see.
I know what happened.
All right,
to
I think she's in Guantanamo now.
Male Karen. The 4 names that Google AI says is Darren, Kevin, Kyle, or Ken.
I don't like any of those.
Darren makes at least sense because it rhymes.
Ken does, like sort of Kens.
We'll get into this later on in this segment, but let's start with the Eagles.
Yes.
NBC Sports Philadelphia, great work as always. Our man Dave Zangaro wrote an article on the top Eagles storylines at the 2026 NFL owners meetings. Believe it or not, we did not spend too much time on the A.J. Brown comments yesterday where Howie Roseman said, I'm going to continue to answer the question. I've been answering it. He is an Eagle.
He's exhausted by the questioning because he knows what it is.
He knows what it is. So Dave Zangaro wrote like an outlook of the owner meetings. And we'll hear from Jeffrey Lurie at some point. It's the one time or maybe 2 times he speaks, sometimes owners meetings, and then sometimes he speaks at camp.
Yeah, but he stopped doing that, by the way. His annual camp thing.
Yeah, you're right.
He's only done that, I think, once in the last 5 years.
Yeah, he's
if I'm not mistaken. He stepped away from that.
You're right. Unless they hire a head coach.
Yeah, and then he'll talk.
Yeah.
Things like that. So he's really let Howie and his head coach do more of that, but Howie does the talking. Any of the tough questions that come to Nick, Howie just steps in.
He steps in. Now, speaking of Nick, there's the breakfast with the coaches. So Nick Sirianni will have the round table, and all the microphones will be in front of him. Some of the rule change proposals. We'll look ahead to the draft, all that kind of stuff. But Dave also wrote about whether or not there could be more moves coming. And that does not mean a trade of A.J. Brown. That could happen. But Dave Zangaro went through the recent years of the post-month of March moves that Howie Roseman has made.
Okay.
And he went back the last 4 seasons, but I'll even go further back to the Super Bowl when they signed Patrick Robinson late. Remember, he was I forget if he got cut by a team or if he just never got signed. And he ended up making one of the biggest plays in Eagles franchise history with that pick 6 in the NFC Championship game. So in 2022, post-March, the trade for A.J. Brown, James Bradbury was a post-April 1st signing, and it was really good for that year. Then, unfortunately, fell apart. They also got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson the first time. After the month of March.
That is correct.
2023, Olamide Zaccheaus, who played a solid role for this team as a third wide receiver, right? DeAndre Swift, because the Lions drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, and the first thought was, well, what are they going to do with this guy? Because they already had Montgomery. They draft Jahmyr Gibbs, and they're going, all right, well, this guy's going on a rookie deal. And everybody said the same thing. Oh, the Eagles are going to call. Final year of the rookie deal.
Right.
Running back. That is it. That is a Howie Roseman staple.
And wasn't it Saturday morning of the draft, third round?
I believe so.
It was the third.
Yeah.
It was the third day of the draft that they got him, I believe.
They also acquired Zach Cunningham. I know nobody wants to talk about the 2023 Eagles defense. Nobody wants to.
No,
but
let's not say we did, as my mom would have said.
He was the one guy that kind of showed up every single week.
He was
I think he led the team in tackles or something. I kept on making the joke that he was the best Cunningham in Eagles franchise history, and a lot of people took it seriously. 2024, post-April 1st, Mekhi Becton. Big addition, not just in terms of his size, but big addition in terms of what he was able to do for this Eagles offensive line en route to a Super Bowl victory. They also traded for Jahan Dotson. And I know the Dotson experiment didn't really go all that well, but he did have a big catch in the Super Bowl, got down at the 1-yard line. And then last year, more so a bunch of guys. Matt Pryor, Jacorian Bennett, John Mechie, Fred Johnson, but that was because you let him walk. Britton Covey.
I'll never forget that.
And then Marcus Epps was actually a pretty decent pickup for them because he ended up starting for them toward the end of the season. Is this an underrated #Howie season? the month of April.
I think it absolutely is.
April, May,
Howie's crafty as hell.
He is. And we don't talk. We talk about Howie's season being March, right? When legal tampering begins and free agency begins, new league year begins. We don't get much Howie season April talk other than the draft, but I mean like all the other moving parts. He's really good at it.
He really is, and I've got to say is the only thing that I don't think he's that good at is when he adds during the season. I mean, Jay Ajayi will always come to mind as being like a real home run pick, but a lot of the players that he acquires during the season I think tend to be misses, many more swings and misses than hits. But he does really, really well with these kind of acquisitions. Really, really good.
Those are also desperation moves,
especially right around the the draft. He does really, really well.
He's good, and he knows guys that are entering the final year of their deals, and he read it. Look, that Lions one, he just read what the Lions did. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. He goes, okay, I'm calling.
Right.
Because, A, we need a run. This is before Saquon Barkley and Miles Sanders. I hated him, the player. He saw a situation where he said, all right, I need a better running back. And I can acquire this guy he did it with Jordan Howard. He's done it with multiple running backs over his tenure. Then he decided to pony up and paid for Saquon Barkley. All right. Can you explain to the people what just happened to you this during this
this is really, really fast. So the bathroom on our floor on the 4th floor was being cleaned. So I had to go up to the 5th floor.
Miss Maria, love her.
Yeah, Miss Maria, love her.
The most wonderful person.
She is such a sweet lady. And so I told Maria, do not rush. I'll go upstairs. We have time. So I walk upstairs, go up to the 5th floor, and I walk in and go into the bathroom, and there is a man at the sink that is like finishing up whatever he'd done, and he's cleaning his hands. And he says to me, he goes, where are you from? That is exactly what he says to me. Where are you from? I mentioned the town where I live in.
Yes.
Because I'm like, who is this dude talking to me in the bathroom? Like that I don't know. And he goes, no, seriously, where are you from? And I said, is there some sort of sign-up list in here today that I missed? I get sarcastic with him. And he goes, well, I'm from the construction company up here, and people have been using our bathrooms.
He was upset.
And I said, our bathroom is being cleaned on our floor, so I came up here.
We're gatekeeping bathrooms.
And I'm like, dude, I said, dude, dude. I walk in and I just close.
That's male Karen.
I'm like, who are you?
And look, he's a construction worker. He probably kicked my ass.
No, but he's not. No. He didn't look like that either. No. I'd not be afraid of him.
You can't gatekeep bathrooms.
I'm like people have been using our bathroom.
By the way, there's 3 per floor, right? So there's 6 floors. That means there's 18 bathrooms in this place.
I'm like, what is your
upset
problem?
that somebody's using that one?
No, hang on. I need to check you a little bit here. At least you, Andrew. Because there have been points where you have told me not to use the bathroom on this floor and to go up to that floor.
I told you not to poop in our bathroom.
So you've told me what bathroom I can and can't use.
There are other bathrooms that aren't used often because this building isn't totally full sometimes.
Oh, and so you could defend your bathroom, but he can't defend his?
What I've said is please don't do number 2 when other people are constantly going in and out of that restroom. You can use number 2 on multiple other – that's what I do.
Yeah. But
I go to other bathrooms that I know people aren't walking in and out.
This is gatekeeping, though. This guy has no first of all, don't talk in the bathroom. Like there's no reason.
Upset. He was gatekeeping.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're really not talking in the bathroom, are you? Like, even to people you know, you're not.
I chat sometimes.
I'm just saying, it's that.
If you're washing your hands, you can. You're not it's just weird.
It's weird to say question why you're there.
And he did, but I was just as sarcastic as I could be back.
All right, what do we have on the? Oh, you know what? Let's check the poll. Speaking of using the bathroom, Dr. Avidan Appel, Iron Mountain Men's Health, 4 hours strong here in the morning, 4 hours strong in the afternoon. I'm glad that we finally had a shift where more people are partying than living in misery because at one point during the show, there was a lot of people. And look, there's still a lot of people, but the majority were living in misery. It seems like the majority are now starting to party, Connor. Is that right?
Is flipped heavily. I haven't seen a poll since we've been doing this change this quickly. So what's your biggest takeaway from this weekend's games is the question. Previous points in the show, up to 54% of responders were saying upset with the Phillies was their biggest takeaway. Now 61% are saying excited for Sixers Flyers. Only 39% are upset with the Phillies.
Yeah, that's still such a high number for what's going on, what the Flyers and Sixers are doing. And again, mainly the Flyers? Because the Sixers are in it, as John said earlier. They're in it, whether it's a play-in or a seed where they don't have to do in the play-in tournament. They're in the playoffs.
Exactly.
The Flyers are fighting for their lives right now, and man, are they doing a great job at it. And I get it. That Columbus game sucked.
And they did.
It was a kick in the nuts, right? But man, the wins that they were having before that West Coast trip that they had, the wins that they have since gotten, national television Saturday night against the Red Wings, last night against the Stars, and now that we are reaching a point where every night's lock-in night, you mean to tell me that there's still 40% of people that are more miserable about the Phillies?
Well, I think that there's just it's a Phillies fatigue, and hopefully the Phillies fatigue gets past
Then
over.
find the new shiny toy. That's what my son does when he gets bored of one. He goes play another one.
Yes.
The Flyers are that new shiny toy, dude.
They are, and you get excited about it.
And you'll get back to the Phillies.
And the thing is, the Sixers, too, you not only have the idea of there is opportunity for this team to grow, but the players getting healthy. There's a chance that things come together for the Sixers, and it could be fun.
Oh, I like that.
What?
I just like that positivity.
No, I mean, there's a chance that could work.
Once again, the national talk this weekend. You know, the Sixers are the team that nobody wants to face in the first round. Yes, we're back. The sun has risen again.
I'm going to tell you is in hockey, what the Flyers are doing
you don't want to face
is
them.
much more translatable because in the NBA, the upsets rarely happen.
Sure.
In the NHL, the upsets happen all the time.
But Johnny,
and the goaltending you're getting, it happens.
In the NBA, you typically don't have a team where one guy's getting suspended for 25 games, another guy's hurt every other minute, and Tyrese Maxey gets hurt. The Sixers' big three was out for an extended period of time. And if we had nice things, they'd be a 4-seed or 3-seed right now.
Yeah, if one guy wanted to play when he was healthy, if one guy didn't do some sort of drugs that he then won't tell us what they were, and if Tyrese is just a beast.
Late bloomers, Johnny.
Tyrese is a beast.
They're late bloomers, and they're starting to blossom. I love it. All right, coming up
Just
next.
like blossom.
Coming up next.
Whoa.
Whoa. The problem that we have with Phillies platoons sometimes is because maybe the options aren't great.
Yeah, they're not.
The idea is not a bad one. It's the execution sometimes that's questionable. And we saw an issue play out yesterday. And this better change quick. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
When you are helping people plan for their retirement or you're helping people create a financial plan, you better be good at it. And with Dan White and Associates being in business for almost 4 decades, that means they're good at it. They're going to stress test your retirement plan. They're going to help you put up those financial boundaries that help you reach your financial goals. They're going to help you find certainty in your financial future. They host these educational seminars throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. You're going to get a great meal. You're going to get to hang out and hear about what they can do for you. And then you can have your own complimentary, no-risk consultation where you can have a private conversation about your money. Now, I know conversations about money, they can be a little awkward, but they won't be with Dan White and Associates. They can help you create income in retirement that's going to help support the lifestyle that you want to live. Look, you got to just make the call. You got to let Dan White and Associates sell you. I can tell you about them, point you in their direction, and I promise you, you'll feel comfortable with them. It's Dan White and Associates. Check them out on the web at danwhiteandassociates.com.
From the city that demands
6:47 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Johnny. Talking sports here. Phils with the 2 of 3 losing to the Rangers. Flyers and Sixers both in action this weekend as well. Flyers and Sixers having great weekends. And we've been talking about it all day today. Celebrating what the Flyers and Sixers have done. Reacting to the Phillies, but trying not to be doom and gloom, which you and I will not be, but a lot of Phillies fans are.
Connor never is. And look, it's not who we are. It's just not who we are. We're not going to be. We're just not. Now, talk to me in June. If this continues for a couple months, I might join the party.
But it's March 30th.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
I can't.
I just can't
Imagine
do it.
dropping 2 of 3 in June.
Right, and you'll just not even think about it.
Like, do you panic when they lose a series in June?
Nope.
If they're in first place next Monday, are you going to, first of all, worry about it? Because I always say to you, don't check the standings till Memorial Day. So are you going to worry about it? If these people, are you looking at the standings every day? Like, do you care that you're behind the Marlins? Like, does that worry about
Your
you?
NL East standings feels dead last in the National League East with their 1-2 record. By the way, another crazy stat.
What's that?
I told you last week that Christopher Sanchez had the best outing ever on opening day by a modern pitcher. First to ever do 10 strikeouts, no runs, 3 hits or less.
Okay.
6 innings, blah, blah, blah. Johan Duran had the first home save for the Phillies on opening day. Do you know that in the history of the National League East, this also counts the Montreal Expos, so not just Nationals. The NL East has never had all 5 teams start the season 1-0.
You know why, though?
Because a lot of times they play each other.
Yeah, they used to, in the division, 4 teams played each other. So you used to have 2 divisional matchups.
Right.
They used to do that a lot, so it was almost a statistical impossibility
But
for it to happen.
he finally did it.
Best division in baseball.
Best division in baseball. Could be the NL West where you have the Dodgers, and then you have everybody else. Padres 1-2, the other 3 teams all 0-3.
Yeah,
to start the season.
What are the Dodgers, by the way?
Yeah, they're pretty good. All right, so one thing that we've talked about a lot about Dave Dombrowski's offseason has been just some of the things that he has said, the weird things that he said. Like the people forget we signed Kyle Schwarber. Nobody forgot that you
Nobody
signed
in the
Kyle
world
Schwarber.
has forgotten that.
Even though we don't totally disagree with what he had to say about Bryce Harper, it's still weird for him to say it. That was sort of our takeaway the next day was, wow, why did he say it? Not he was wrong. It was it's a
weird thing.
It's an interesting thing to say. We were 1 throw, 1 pitch, like a good club. Like Dave Dombrowski's been talked about probably more for not making moves than any other franchise he's been a part of. We've been reacting more to what his comments have been this offseason than I would imagine any other city has.
He loves to talk, though.
And he loves to try to pump guys up, except for Bryce Harper, including Otto Kemp. And I know Getting the Zone AutoZone show is coming away at 10 o'clock. Middays with Marks, brought to you by AutoZone. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if we're going to have an official statement.
But it should be.
Will there be an official statement?
So Otto Kemp gets the start yesterday. And he might be one of the worst outfielders I've ever seen play Major League Baseball. Even though I can't call him an outfielder, he's playing in the outfield.
Okay, you saw Rhys Hoskins play outfield. Is it because honestly, that's what I see when I see him play outfield. I see Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah,
he's terrible.
He's really bad.
Like he's terrible, but he can't play infield either.
No, he's a guy that doesn't really have a position unless where was he in the minors? What did he play?
He played infield.
He's terrible.
Yeah, but was he more like first base? Like
third,
I think they had him at the corners.
Yeah, he's first and third, right?
Well, I know they tried him at third because they were trying to find a place to play him. If he can't field, all right,
why is he here? He can't. He is so bad in the outfield.
He has to rake. That's what it has to be. Like,
and I mean rake. When you're that bad defensively, you've got to you have to rake.
Yeah, that's why not that he's a good person by any means, but that's why the Braves got by with Ozuna in left field for a couple of years before he became a DH because he was hitting 35, 40 home runs.
Exactly.
And that's why I scoff at you, Connor, when you tell me he's got 25 home run power. Even if he does, he doesn't have 35, 40 home run power where you go, all right, we deal with the in 2022 when the Phillies went to the World Series, your outfield had Castellanos and Schwarber. That was your left and right field, but you dealt with it because Schwarber could hit home runs and Castellanos was supposed to.
And Veerling, right, was in the mix there too, right?
Yeah, he was
fourth outfielder.
He was the platoon with I forget who the platoon was. It Marsh?
Well, he came in because Marsh came in.
Yeah, Marsh
Yeah,
was there.
so
that year.
they platooned
Marsh
in center
came in.
field. The Vierling Marsh platoon in center
Then
field.
they played like Nick Maton everywhere.
Nick
Yeah,
Maton,
that's
yes,
right, that's
Wolfie.
right. But if Otto Kemp's not hitting the ball, like
He's
you can't play him.
look, he's not a major league.
It's early. It's early. I'm not
No, but
sending him down yet.
it's not early for him to know what he is. He's not going to become a better outfielder.
No, but I'm just saying he needs to hit the ball.
I understand.
Hang
But he
on.
is not going to become. Is he going to become an outfielder? Is he going to become a bat that becomes one of a that really is becomes like a
No,
25, 30 home
don't-
run?
I don't believe that.
We'll see, but saying he's not going to become a better outfielder, like it's very early for that. They forced him into being an outfielder partway through last season in the minor leagues.
He doesn't run well.
Okay.
He doesn't break on a ball. I bet you could go to parks where high schoolers would understand how to break on a ball better. He doesn't know how to break on a ball.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is he's learning a position in the major league.
Yeah,
wait a
on the
minute.
fly in the majors.
That's
Then where were you?
that's a
What
problem.
did you do all winter?
I'm sure he worked. on
Yeah.
it.
Well, then it doesn't seem to have stuck. He doesn't look. He looks like he's lumbering around out there like he has no idea what's
He
going on.
might not be a good fielder.
He's
I
not-
mean, that's not the
Well, we
first.
know that he's
He
not.
won't be the first baseball player that's
Absolutely.
not been a good
He
fielder.
will not be.
But
Correct.
he has to make up for it.
He
with
looks
the
like
bat.
Reese Hoskins out there.
Listen, I fought the fight last year. Brandon Marsh went 0 for the month of April, and he ended up batting, 280 on the year?
Okay.
It's a long season.
But Brandon Marsh had a history.
Okay, and Otto Kemp doesn't, so we can't say he's not going to be a better outfielder. We don't know. Let's take a little time before we say he's not going to be a better outfielder. He does have to rake. He's not going to be a plus defender probably at any point. And
he'll be
hope he's
No.
survivable and he hits the cover off the ball.
What's his Mr. Locked On Phillies podcast? You should have these numbers off the top of your head. What's his arm like? What's his metrics in the field? Does he have a cannon?
He has an arm attached to the right side of
He's
his
not
body.
no. He does not have a plus. What's that? Plus arm?
By the way, speaking of arm.
No.
Speaking of arm. Brandon Marsh,
Oh my gosh.
cotton candy.
It is.
There was the base hit to left field in game 2.
Yeah.
And he
Oh, come on.
oh my god.
Seriously.
Throw home was a little.
That was
We got so many bigger problems.
Yeah, but I'm a
but
I'm
again-
a seam head. So like I see these things. Oh my god. If I'm a third base coach, I'm rounded.
I don't care.
I'm
He's-
waving the
No,
arm.
they're
He's
watching-
one of like the
and
three
he-
guys that hit in that series. Like,
True. He did hit
who cares?
333. Brandon
again,
Marsh.
Again, you're watching it going, deficiency.
And these are the guys that Dave's all for. But traded for one.
Dave's loving it. Well,
Called the other one a championship type player.
Dave's loves that.
I don't want to be too offensive because the AutoZone show comes your way at 10 o'clock. I don't want to speak too
That's
poorly
great.
of their guy. All right, coming up. Howie Roseman spoke on A.J. Brown kind of yesterday. Derek Gunn has to speak of A.J. Brown like any time he goes on any show ever. D. Gunn joins us coming up next. What else could the Eagles do this offseason? Is the month of April an underrated Howie season? It is Kincade and Salciunas. D. Gunn next here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A stretch run for the Sixers. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers had a great weekend. They're heading into the final month of their regular season. Really, it's the final couple of weeks, but April will round it out for them. And the Sixers took down the Hornets in a thriller on Saturday. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, both on the court, and Maxey proved, once again, he's one of the top players in the league this year.
Rebound Maxey, foot race with the dribble down the lane. Oh, man, he jammed it. Tyrese Maxey throws it down. Bridges got dunked on, posterized, and Maxey, one of the biggest dunks of the year.
And it was a good win overall for the team. The Sixers are just a half game back to the Hawks for the 6th seed. Now they play the Heat tonight at 7. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic as they continue to make their playoff push. The Flyers want to be included as well. They had a big win over the Stars last night, 2-1 in overtime. Trevor Zegras, the winner. They're now just 2 points out of a playoff spot. They're off until tomorrow. And they signed Porter Martone over the weekend, the first-round pick from the 2025 draft. He could make his NHL debut as early as this week. The Phillies lost 8-3 yesterday, dropping their opening series to the Rangers. Turner, Schwarber, Harper combined 5 for 37 in the opening series. They've got the Nationals tonight at 6:40. Foster Griffin on the mound for Washington. Taijuan Walker gets the ball for the Phillies. And we'll talk to Derek Gunn coming up next for the latest on the Eagles offseason. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Kincade and Salciunas.
There's a lot of people already panicking because the offensive numbers aren't that great through 3 games.
Whenever your fears are reinforced, I think it just brings out strong emotions. I just don't consume baseball that way, even though I commiserate and I understand the frustration because I feel that way about this Phillies team in a lot of ways. And I feel that way about doubling down on old guys, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the plan. I wouldn't have signed Schwarber. I wouldn't have signed Real Muto, and that was just me. So I understand people who feel that way, but you're really overreacting.
Yeah.
Like, people, it's an overreaction. Come on now.
I think there was a lot of wonder of how this team comes out the gate. Remember, when they lose in 2023 the way that they did, they came out in 2024 with their hair on fire. They were winning these clips, and that's why they were setting franchise records at the start of the season. And then last year, we saw another great regular season, winning 96 games. So we're sitting here going into this season. All right, what's it like? And so far, Crawford's been a lot of fun to watch, right? The kid has stepped up and has looked big league ready. There has been no concern about Justin Crawford, but that doesn't matter for a lot of people. What matters is Turner, Schwarber, Harper, who went 5 for 37 in the opening series. Now, here's the deal, John. 5 for 37. I'm not panicking because Trey Turner hit for 300 batting average last year. Kyle Schwarber hit 56 home runs last year. And Bryce Harper, I'm still not ready to say Bryce Harper is cooked.
Now back to the show.
Yep. Talking a lot of Phillies to start the show. We're not panicking on the show, but I know a lot of you are. We're also celebrating what both the Sixers and Flyers were able to accomplish this weekend. So it's not just been a show of negativity, Johnny. Today has been a positive day if people have allowed us to.
And the poll has changed.
Yes, which is good.
That's what's great, because I think maybe early in the day there was a little bit, maybe it is the early risers, a little grumpier.
Yeah, and by the way,
because we understand. It's
by the way,
grumpy.
I said on social media, there's a lot of people that I don't want to party with. Maybe the party animals woke up a little bit later
because they were partying last night.
They were partying, celebrating both the Flyers and Sixers weekends. They had a Sunday fun day, especially after that Flyers game last night, winning in overtime over the Stars. And
you're becoming a Trevor Zegras fan.
Well, I mean, what's not to love?
Well, there's a lot to love. I mean, you're really, but you're starting to. Has anyone taken the Jalen Phillips, sort of man crush title? Could it be Trevor Zegras?
Could be. I've always been a big TK fan, but I remember how Bob Cooney loved him.
Right.
So
you didn't want to steal it from Bob?
Yeah, and I've never reached that level. That was Bob. Bob had a kind of creepy obsession with Travis Konechny a little bit, who, by the way, lit the lamp yesterday.
He did.
Early
Great goal.
in the second period. So I don't know yet. I don't know who my man crush is for the Flyers. Maybe it's Porter Martone.
Well, that'd be really creepy.
That would be creepy considering he's 19 years old. And he makes his debut tomorrow, it looks like.
Connor's really creepy.
Anthony Sanfilippo told us straight up he will play tomorrow.
Barring any kind of
weirdness,
like a physical problem or something like that.
Yeah, but he's expecting him to play tomorrow, which is great.
Buy your jerseys now, future Gretzky.
Damn right, man. The other thing interesting about the Phillies that we really haven't talked about much today, and we are going to get into it later on the show, but we have Derek Gunn coming up in about a minute to talk about the Eagles. Howie Roseman spoke yesterday to members of the media. Bryce Harper getting booed yesterday. Not something we're used to seeing.
Did it bother you?
No.
Didn't bother me at all.
No, if a guy comes up small in a big spot,
I've seen Mike Schmidt
every
booed.
paid Phillies fan has the right, because they paid to be in it, has the right to voice their opinion either by cheer or by boo. It's just interesting that we've reached this point. And if you remember, Johnny, we talked about this late last summer before the playoffs, that it feels like sort of that love affair's dying off a little bit.
I absolutely think it is. And I think it's his own doing.
Look, the second he hits a big home run, the love affair's back.
Yes, but I think it's his own doing. Is he put the pressure on himself? When you start with the not elite stuff and everything, you're throwing it in people's faces going, oh, yeah, they don't think I'm elite. Well, I'll show them. Good.
And then you come out the gate a little
Bryce,
slow.
that's what we want you to do. Again, I just don't understand the whole idea because everybody wants him to be great. It's great if he's great. It's great for us if he's great.
He was more patient yesterday. Did walk yesterday. Twice.
Yes, that's nice.
149 to go.
Wouldn't mind swapping the two in the order.
That's great.
Have Schwarber protect Harper.
We'll see how it plays out. We'll give it a little
Wouldn't
bit
that
more
be
time.
nice?
Schwarber's going to hit home runs regardless of who's
But
behind.
remember, he's a 3-hole hitter.
No, he did say he'll
He's-
hit 2,
yeah.
3, or 4. He does not want to hit leadoff. That has been a quote from Bryce.
And he's also, and the quote that's more frequent from Bryce Harper is, "I'm a 3-hole hitter."
No, he had a quote literally like 3 days ago that I'll hit 2, 3, or 4.
And I said
Wherever they
more
want.
frequently, he has said, "I am a 3-hole hitter,"
my
over
bad.
and
I thought
over
you said
and
more
over
recently.
again.
Well, hopefully they swap the 2 around. That would be nice.
Because they know what he wants to do. He wants to be a 3-hole hitter. That's what he wants.
And you know what? I want him to hit.
Hey, that's what we just want hits. It'd be great. And he would be more protected by Kyle Schwarber.
You know what else I want? I want to be able to talk some Eagles.
Yes.
With our next guest. And we also have to get an update on his cryptocurrency. Our man Derek Gunn joins us here on Kincade and Salciunas. D-Gunn, what's going on with the social media account? Has it been fixed yet?
No. It still has not been fixed.
So wait a minute. I shouldn't have transferred that money into crypto?
Yeah,
No, look.
Coconuts is making you money. You bought new watches.
Look, man, I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled. I still haven't fixed this thing yet.
It's a shame because we see it. We're like, not that I don't think you're good with your money, D-Gun, but I just don't see you as a crypto guy. Yeah, so when I first saw the tweet, I didn't totally buy it because I also don't know if you believe Coconuts 0716 is really helping you out.
I see D-Gun as a stuff the mattress guy.
Yeah,
honestly. I mean,
You're exactly. You know me well, man. I don't deal with crypto, man. I'm like, are you kidding me with this stuff?
Oh,
and so I found out so many other people have been hacked also with this stuff, and
That's
I'm
what
like,
happens.
it is what it is. But I've had so many texts, so many phone calls from people like, D-Gun, you got hacked. I'm like, yes, I know, man. I'm trying to fix this thing.
And you're also a big emoji guy anytime you text or tweet because you got a lot of emojis in your recent tweets, and you're blessed for your new watch. That's beautiful.
Oh, jeez.
Derek, so yesterday, owners meeting start. They're out in Phoenix, and Howie Roseman obviously had to be asked about A.J. Brown, and once again, won't say anything because he really can't, and A.J.'s an Eagle. So we'll start there. Howie can say one thing. What have you been hearing the latest on the A.J. Brown front?
What I've said consistently since January. The Eagles are not actively trying to move A.J. Now, as smart of a business entity as they are, you have to listen to any and every offer. But obviously, whatever offers and rumors that we've heard out there have not been good enough to entice the Eagles to make the move. I've known for a long time, despite some of his antics on the field and in social media in recent years, AJ is well loved and well respected within that organization, in that building. From top to bottom, everybody loves AJ. AJ loves being in Philadelphia, wants to be in Philadelphia. That's why all of these stories from local and national experts that have come out, the rumors and speculations have been quite interesting. Some of them, humorous. The Eagles don't have a problem with AJ, and I know a lot of the fan base, wants to see AJ gone. If he doesn't want to be here, let him go. AJ has never come out and said he doesn't want to be here. As a matter of fact, kudos to AJ for keeping quiet for the most part during this whole scenario. But unless the Eagles find something that just wows them, which I don't think they will, I still believe, as I've stated consistently since January, AJ will be a Philadelphia Eagle in 2026.
Derek, before giving kudos to AJ, are we giving kudos to AJ for his effort last year, depicted on the field most of the time? Many times last year.
Well, I think the last game was the most glaring in terms of, what we perceive to be a lack of effort. Did he let his frustrations get the best of him at times? It appears to be the case in terms of what we saw on the field a few times in the season. But the Eagles still view him as one of the top, 12, 15 receivers in the National Football League. And you look at the cap hit they would take as well by moving him elsewhere. So I think they've had a meeting of the minds behind closed doors. And hopefully things are going to get better. But Howie Roseman looks at AJ as an integral piece of what they're trying to accomplish in 2026, which is of trying to get back to being deeper into the playoffs and hopefully another Super Bowl appearance.
Derek, we're getting closer to the NFL draft. Every other year, this is the big draft. Next year's the big draft. It changes every single year. It's whatever gets the clicks, I think. But the Eagles clearly have some future positions that they need to focus on. Do you think that this is the draft where they start finding ways to eventually replace guys like Lane Johnson and Dallas Goedert?
Yeah, I do. Honestly, I believe offensive line is a priority for this team. You know, this could be Lane's last season in the National Football League. Now would be a great time to get a young up-and-coming offensive tackle and to be groomed under Lane. I think they're going to look at the cornerback position a little bit more, and they're going to look at the linebacking position a little bit more as well. This is a time where you have to start looking at the immediate future while you still have some veteran presence in place. You know, it's funny. In all the years that I've covered this game, I've heard so many players down the road that have said a lot of times players learn more from other players than they do coaches. And so if you have quality players in strategic positions, you want to get the potential younger replacement that could be coming in to learn as much from the player they could be replacing as well as coaches. So I do think, strategically, let's start with that offensive line. I think they're going to heavily look at that and look at it for right now for depth with the possibility of those pieces moving into prominent places in 2027.
What are you hearing about this new offensive staff? And especially with Jeff Stoutland leaving town, it leaves a lot of people like sort of leery about what things are going to look like and how big of the transformation it's going to be.
Well, a new year, a new look. Sean Mannion, you look at the way the Packers ran their offense, they like to use the tight end a lot in their offense. The running game is prominent in that offense in Green Bay as well. And I think that's what we're going to see more of here, maybe a little bit more diversity than we saw in this offense in 2025. They got a young, fresher approach. The only thing I don't like is they keep changing OCs. It seems like every year, yeah. and Jalen has to get used to a new OC every year. So with that said, even though they're going to have the OTAs, even though they're going to have training camp, and let's face it, the regulars don't play in the preseason games. It may take 3-4 games before we see a fluid Eagles offense in terms of what Sean Mannion / Nick Sirianni want this offense to look like in 2026.
Derek, so we were talking about this earlier, the moves that Howie Roseman makes after the month of March. Is that an underrated #Howie season for you? We always talk about the new league year, but post-March, right around draft time, some of the big trades and acquisitions that he's made over the years have really helped this team out.
Well, basically, he told us that they weren't going to probably be big players in free agency this year, and I think they picked up some strategic pieces to put into place to help this thing get a lot better. They got more depth, more veteran depth at the wide receiver position. They got a pretty good corner, Reek Wallen, 6'4", 210 corner. He can cover. Now, he's a gambler, and he gets beat occasionally, but he's a gambler. But he's a good cover corner. I think he's going to be a great compliment to Quinyon Mitchell. I think bringing in Andy Dalton, is basically another set of eyes and ears for Jalen, in terms of how to see things across the line of scrimmage, anticipation, and things of that nature. Andy Dalton's been around the block 15 years. He's played in multiple offenses, and I think he's a good addition in terms of being another coach / player on the field for Jalen Hurts in terms of making a transition to this offense. So I think he didn't make the wild splash move, but I think he made strategic moves to plug some gaps when you take into consideration the volume of players they lost in free agency.
If I put you into a time machine, and it's January and we're getting ready for the playoffs, have the Eagles been led more prominently by their offense or their defense in 2026?
Well, that's a great question. I still think the defense is going to have to make some plays to get off the field, but I think the offense, especially if they lean on this running game again in 2026, I think the offense is going to have to propel this team deep into the playoffs. That's not a knock against the defense. I think the defense has some good young talent still, and guys are going to have to step up and play more minutes, more snaps. But I do think when you look at the receiving, the depth at the wide receiver, if Lane Johnson, that's a big if Lane Johnson can stay healthy, I think bringing back Fred Johnson for versatility and depth was huge. I think the offense is where you're going to have to lean on. They're going to have to put up points. Let's face it. You look at the league the way it is, and they're going to have to put up points. All that offense has to do is, all that defense, I should say, has to do is make strategic stops and put the ball back in the hands of the offense. And I think the offense is where you're going to have to lean on to go deep into the playoffs.
All right, last thing for you, Gunner. And again, congratulations on all your success with the cryptocurrency. We're
come on, man.
Hoping nothing but success for you. Jalen Hurts, speaking of money, Johnny and I have been talking about this the last couple of weeks, keeping a close eye on the situation. But you got boots to the ground, ears to the ground. Is Jalen Hurts going to get a reworked contract soon? Because it changes drastically after this season.
No, I don't think he'll get this contract extension in 2026. I think the Eagles are going to look closely at how he adapts to this new offense. And I think then they're going to make a determination in terms of what they want to do with Jalen beyond the season. But I don't think an extension is in the works this offseason heading into the 2026 season. And I don't blame them. When you're talking about the money that quarterbacks make nowadays and how it eats up such a significant part of the cap, you have to be very strategic in terms of what you're going to do, who you're going to do it with. Let's face it, Jalen didn't have the best of years in 2025. So I don't like to use the word a prove-it year because he's proven he can play at a high level in 2 Super Bowls and being a Super Bowl MVP. But I think in terms of consistency, the Eagles have some concerns about his consistency when you base it on what we saw of him in 2025. So, no, I don't think he's getting that extension anytime soon.
All right, Gunner, we appreciate the time as always. Good luck on everything.
Thank you,
buddy.
buddy.
We'll continue to talk to you throughout the offseason.
Get that grill open.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
The grill's back in business.
That thing's been
good.
open. That first 70-degree day, I imagine you were out there for hours.
Just help me get rid of this crypto stuff, man.
Yeah,
it's driving me nuts.
We'll make a few phone calls for you. Thanks, Gunner. We appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
There he is.
And
one
the
of our
watches.
favorites.
I mean, I went and got one of the watches.
Yeah, he got a brand new watch thanks
That's
to
great.
Coconuts 1076, man. Or 0716. Coconuts has changed his life.
Can I ask what the passwords are for people?
I'm sure they
1,
find
2, 3, 4.
I'm sure they find ways post. I think they can pass the password. Some of these people.
You think that's what it is?
If some hacker guy zeroes in on you, right?
Okay.
John Kincade, I think they'd be able to figure out any way to get in.
I would tell you that they absolutely could never figure out my password.
Yeah, but they could probably figure out ways around it.
There's a test for you out there. If you're a hacker listening,
Yeah,
there's
John
your bet.
Kincade.
You could never figure out because you just don't pick things, anything. People pick stuff like dogs' names, house streets they lived on, words that mean something to them. Don't do that.
You know what?
Sports teams.
I think I know because he keeps on
Don't
saying,
do
"What
that.
is it? 1, 2, 3, 4?" I bet you his is 4, 3, 2, 1.
Touchdown 1, 2, 3.
Keep the people guessing. All right, Connor, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. We love them. Davis Honda. What do we got?
David checks in here talking a little bit of Flyers hockey on this Monday morning.
Yes.
He says, this is the 2010 Flyers team all over again. They're getting hot at the right time. Just find a way to get in.
Dude, I'm not even asking for them to go to the Cup. If they want to.
Oh, no, we'd be fine with it.
go ahead.
We're not going to object.
Like, look, if Porter Martone wants to light the lamp every single game during the playoffs, go for it, man. You want to put the biscuit in the basket, get some apples out there, I'm all for it. But I'm just happy that we're talking about them on March 30th. And not talking about them like, fire this guy, you got to blow it up, this rebuild's not working. No, we're talking about them excitedly on March 30th.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's exactly what we want. And more importantly, just everybody just jump on board. Have a good time. You got an old Flyers shirt in your drawer, take it out.
Yeah, and by the way, if they don't make it, what are you going to do? You'd be heartbroken? You weren't expecting it to begin with.
And you shouldn't have been.
We're like right now, it's the old term of house money, we're playing with it. They are at a point right now where we are talking about them in a way that nobody was expecting them to.
Now, I gave Scott trouble here on social media saying Flyers and Sixers right now are playing with house money. No, the Sixers are not.
No.
The Sixers are the exact opposite
the Sixers,
definition of house money.
They lost their house money and
house
their own
money went
personal
away.
income years ago.
Sixers have been on a line of credit for years with this fan base. The Flyers are playing with house money.
Hey, you can always make it back to even. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I like that, Connor.
Damn right, man.
I like that.
Flyers are doing that for us. What else we got?
Brian in Somerton checks in and says, I'm good with positivity for the Flyers, but you're not getting me with this 76ers fool's gold. I'm out on the 76ers. Time to blow that crap up.
All right, well, if they win a playoff series and you're saying blow that crap up, then don't enjoy yourself. All right, like I don't know. I'm at the point where it's every day that they look like they have something is a gift.
It's so much like tonight to be able to watch the idea of there's a Pittsburgh Islanders game that you care about the outcome.
Yeah, but for the Sixers, we're watching tonight.
Right. I mean, it's fun to scoreboard watch.
Yeah, and you know what else we're scoreboard watching tonight? Celtics Hawks during Sixers Heat 7 o'clock, Celtics Hawks 7:30. So this is a night where if the Sixers pull off the win, which they should, you flip over to whatever NBA League Pass, whatever you want to watch, or if you're just following on Google,
right?
You see if the Celtics can beat the Hawks. And then all of a sudden you start looking at the standings.
And you're excited.
You jump them because you're a half game back. You could be a half game up of Atlanta, which would give you one of the top 6 seeds, Johnny.
There you go.
All right, coming up next, as we continue to celebrate the Sixers and Flyers weekends, there is still more to get into. And we'll check the Davis Honda text line. But what we're going to do is tell you what to watch this week. The urgency for the Sixers and Flyers is high. So we'll look at who we're watching and the scoreboards we're watching. Also, can the Phillies bounce back? We got a debut this week. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right. Speaking of things to look forward to, not this week, but mark your calendars. April 16th through the 18th. It is a very special time at the Family Company Jewelers showroom on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey. They do such a great job with this every single year for you. It's called the Viraggio Bridal Show. Family Company already has the largest selection of Viraggio engagement ring styles and settings in the area, and they are beautiful. But for 3 days only, April 16th, 17th, and 18th, they're also bringing in all new inventory and brand new designs that have yet to be made available to the public. So you can get a first in-person look at these things before anybody else. Plus, there will be a Viraggio rep on site to help you custom design the perfect one-of-a-kind ring. So you have the great team at Family Company Jewelers, who I love, who I adore. I've been talking to them for years. But you also have a Viraggio rep. And if you want another added bonus, this is probably the one that everybody would like. It's your chance to save hundreds and maybe even thousands on the ring of her dreams. So head to Family Company Jewelers, Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, April 16th through the 18th. Now's a great time to start planning your proposal, right? The weather starts to turn. The flowers are blossoming. Everything looks beautiful. The Flyers and Sixers are playing good sports. So you're happy. Just visit FamilyJewelers.com for more information. Book your appointment now. Stop in and find out why Family Company Jewelers is South Jersey's diamond destination.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Flyers outlast the Stars. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers had a great weekend as they're heading into the home stretch of their regular seasons. The Flyers, a big win over the Dallas Stars last night. 2-1, an overtime winner, and it was Trevor Zegras that played the hero.
Cut around Mikko Rantanen up the right wing in at the Dallas line. Zegras looking at the net, shoots, he scores! The overtime winner! Trevor Zegras ends it with his 23rd goal of the year.
And now the Flyers are just 2 points out of a playoff spot. They're off until tomorrow. Porter Martone, their 2025 first-round draft pick, signed with the team over the weekend. He could make his NHL debut tomorrow night, so we'll keep an eye out for that. The Sixers were watching their playoff push as well. They took down the Hornets on Saturday. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre both back in action for the team. Sixers are a half game back of the Atlanta Hawks for the 6th seed. They play the Miami Heat tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Phillies lost 8-3 yesterday, dropping their opening series to the Rangers. Turner, Schwarber, Harper combined 5 for 37 in that series. They've got to pick it up a little bit. They got the Nationals tonight. 6:40 first pitch. Foster Griffin on the mound for Washington. Taijuan Walker gets the ball for the Phils. This update is brought to you by True Green. True Green, the easiest way to get a golf course quality lawn. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com by April 7th and get 6 weeks free. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
The final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
All right, before we give you this week's schedule of importance, Sixers, Flyers, and we'll look ahead to the Phillies National Series as well. One thing that we haven't gotten into today, the NFL is working on hiring replacement officials because there is labor negotiations going on between the league and the officials, and NFL owners are apparently alarmed by the state of negotiations with the NFL Referees Association, and they have authorized staff members to begin hiring and onboarding replacement officials in the coming weeks. League sources said Sunday. This is to Adam Schefter and ESPN. We obviously know the infamous Seahawks Packers Hail Mary at the end with the officials. This is one that I just don't like. You're the NFL. Like, just get this one done.
I honestly don't like. To me, I'm just not a big fan of the officials. I think that there should be a officials academy.
Mm-hmm.
College football players. I think you take college football players that are interested in doing this for a career, and you have an academy that trains them to be officials.
It's a full-time job.
And you make it that's how they're trained.
Yeah, a lot of the NBA officials are
Right.
former college basketball players.
And I don't believe, and I'm not being an ageist. I'm older. I don't believe that a guy north of 55 should be trying to keep up with NFL players. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. Whether it's eyesight, whether it's speed, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I think that there should be the speed of this game today. And you're telling me that some guy 55, 60 years old, 65 years old is keeping up with it? Bullcrap. They're not.
Kevin Seifert and Kalen Collar of ESPN were the ones that had the big story on all this. One of the league sources said the league office is expecting and preparing for a lockout. We're so close to expiration and so far apart on economics that unless an act of God gets involved, ... the source said.
An act of God.
To expect people to jump from college to the pros and change in speed in that short of time is destined to be a challenge to succeed, the league source said. We're not going to do that. So that goes to your that's the college officials,
which I think
the
is
NFL.
Hilarious. I think it's hilarious that that's why we need younger officials.
It's just funny. This is a story that like nobody probably really cares about it until somebody screws up and your team loses because of it. And that could happen week 1. That could happen in September.
Did you guys like Connor? You didn't comment on that. Do you like my or not like that idea?
Yeah, I've got no issue with it. I mean, whatever they need to get done. I don't really care about anybody's idea. Not that it's a bad one. You're the NFL. You have all the money in the world. You have all the eyes on your product. The fact that you can't figure something out on this is insane.
It's officials. Like, you can't...
Yeah, find refs.
Now, then again,
that work.
If I'm baseball, I'd rather this be my problem than
Connor.
what could be the...
Find reps that work.
It could be worse that you have a lockout where your season doesn't play. All right, so speaking of baseball, the Phillies begin their 3-game series with the Nationals today, and tomorrow's the big one because we get the debut of Andrew Painter. So tonight, Taijuan Walker gets the start against make-believe Foster Griffin. That guy does not exist. I don't believe that's his real name. I don't believe there's actual game being played. If the Phillies lose today, it does not count.
Not Peter Griffin, not Stewie Griffin.
Foster Griffin is not a real person. He has pitched in Major League Baseball, 7 career appearances with an ERA of 6.75, Johnny. 5 strikeouts. He's got a whip of 1.50. So the Phillies will struggle against this guy today. He's a left-handed pitcher, so that means Kempomania out there.
AutoZone.
No, he does not deserve AutoZone. No, you know what? He's Kemp. Until he starts hitting the ball.
No, you don't get a nickname.
He lost it in one game.
No, he's just Kemp. Yeah, no, he doesn't. He never deserved it to begin with all due respect to Johnny Marks. He's Kemp.
No, quad A players don't get.
He's platoon. You know what? He's right-handed platoon guy. That's his name.
Come on now.
Until he comes through, he's right-handed platoon guy.
Play nice.
So the Phillies will go up against this Foster Griffin fella tonight, game 1 of 3 against the Nationals. But tomorrow's the Andrew Painter debut, and that's a can't wait. Good thing is they're home, so the Phillies start at 6:40. The Flyers game tomorrow is straight up 7 o'clock puck drop.
I believe
tomorrow.
it's 7 o'clock in Washington.
So at least we get the first inning where there's no no dual screens. It's just Andrew Painter on the bump. All eyes on him, Johnny.
On the bump. My gosh. I'm so excited for that one. To me, it's just the idea of seeing Andrew Painter is because, again, patience, folks. It's like we talked about with the Porter Martone thing. Patience. I'm anxious to see Andrew Painter's get up there and show us what you got, kid.
Yeah.
Show what you got. But I'm not going to judge it on one outing. I'm going to give you time.
If he looks good, I might go untradeable.
But I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he can do.
I can't wait to see it either. So Andrew Painter gets his debut tomorrow. So that's the Phillies. The Sixers and Flyers, we've told you this a couple of times today. It is the perfect week for two teams fighting for something. Sixers fighting for a playoff seed, not play in. Flyers fighting for their lives to make the playoffs. And up until Friday, we have no conflicts. It's Sixers tonight, Flyers tomorrow, Sixers
Perfect.
Wednesday, Flyers Thursday.
Perfect.
And then Friday night, go to a bar. Go drink.
Oh, twist my arm.
Friday night, they're both playing.
The Islanders Flyers,
and
which is a huge game.
And the Sixers T-Wolves, and we'll see which game Embiid plays in, maybe both. But Friday night is a go to an establishment that has multiple TVs, and your eyes are like Pong. You're going back and forth watching both.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if the Flyers take care of business in their two games this week before that Friday night game, it's going to be mayhem. It's going to be absolute mayhem.
And you know what? Maybe get some good rest Thursday night because you got happy hour plans with the Phils playing the Rockies out in Colorado at 4:10. So you got a long day.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, is it really?
Yeah.
I love that.
4:10 Friday.
Yes,
is that
sir.
That's probably opening day in Colorado. That's probably their opening game. Playing a Friday 4 o'clock. It's got to be their home opener.
I'll take that.
That's awesome.
It is Rocky's home opener. Good job.
Oh, that's awesome.
How about that?
Oh,
So
fantastic.
we have to watch the pregame ceremonies, too. We have to watch the Phillies get their... I was thinking about this the other day.
What?
This is very random.
Okay.
I wonder what... This is a Jason Stark question.
Okay.
You know how every home opener, they do the big, introductions?
Yeah.
Both teams.
All right.
What's the most introductions a team has had to go through throughout a season? You have
Probably three.
Three, maybe?
Probably three.
Your home opener, and maybe
and then
at least
you might have to be two teams
other home openers.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine you could ever hit four.
I wonder if three's probably the max.
And then if they play in the playoffs, though, they could have it every series of the playoffs.
That's right.
Because every series of the playoffs, they do it.
Text Jason Stark?
Yeah, I'll shoot him a text.
Tell him, look, this is important information.
I saw him on Thursday. You should have asked me this before.
I saw him Thursday
work out
as well.
beautifully.
All right. What do we got on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington, 610-632-0975. That's the number that you could text. You can leave a voice memo. We got one of those earlier today. I know there's a lot of those during Middays with Mark. Love them. If you want to be a part of our voice memo crew, that would be nice. What do we got?
Jason from Starkville checks in. No, I'm just kidding. Joe in the Northeast did check in, though. He says, I'm all in on the Flyers and Sixers. I'm ready to be heard again. Bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted that out going to the Sixers game Wednesday. I was going to get into my car, and it came out that Embiid was playing. And I immediately put out the post, I'm ready to get hurt again. I believe I wrote chapter 19 because it's the same story every single year. Screw it, dude. It's all I got with the Sixers team is what if. That's been the 30 for 30 documentary that comes out. One title could be The Process. The other one is What If.
I think the 30 for 30, I keep hearing people always say that. I'm like, I think people here find it much more interesting than the rest of the country. I don't think the rest of the country finds it that interesting. They don't find here they could NBC Sports Philadelphia could do the 30 for 30. I don't think the rest of the country finds it that interesting.
I don't know. Once you get into the nitty gritty, you got peanut allergy.
The process,
guy
yes.
that forgets how to shoot.
But this has been
twice.
Sorry, two people that forget how to shoot. One by choice, one by accident. You got a GM that's subtweeting his players from a burner account or whatever happened with Colangelo.
It wasn't his wife. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, it was. You know what that 30 for 30 would be? Somebody's going to watch it and say, I didn't realize all this went.
Yeah. It's what the hell, the Philadelphia 76ers story.
Right. Like The Last Dance. Like I heard stories of, like, my dad told me stories, you, and then I watched it during COVID. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize all these details. So maybe there's people that would be
intrigued. You mean like that
by,
the retirement wasn't really a retirement?
Well, that one I knew. But like there's going to be stuff with the Sixers. People are going to be like, wait, what? Mike Halbert, you mentioned peanut allergy. The guy they traded, his mom worked for the freaking organization.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many angles.
It's a terrible story.
Got to be a 10-parter.
It's a tragedy.
And we lived it.
It's a tragedy now, but if they get hot at the right time.
All worth it.
Just get out of the second round.
I already told you. If they win a championship, I am nude climbing up Billy Penn. All right?
Don't do that, please.
Up Billy Penn, you're getting arrested.
I'll be King Kong up there. All right?
You don't get past the third floor.
All right, coming up next. We have a storyline. We touched on it. That we have to track with Bryce Harper moving forward. He heard Boo Birds.
He did.
And that was game 3 of 162. How long is this story go?
Maybe he'll get Fanatic shoes or something.
Maybe. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
No hot take. Facebook.com/97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
All right, it's 9:47 here on Kincade and Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic. Before we get to this Bryce Harper boo discussion, did you guys see this insane story about the woman from Tennessee?
Well,
that was arrested.
Just start right there.
That was arrested by a police in North Dakota.
No.
Nope.
So
just putting it up there.
I know you talked a couple weeks ago how not everybody knows their geography, but I'll let the people know that don't know. Tennessee and North Dakota are not necessarily close.
They're not.
Couple states away from the two of them.
Okay.
So this woman, Angela Lips, is in Tennessee. Angela Lips gets arrested because somebody did something wrong in North Dakota.
What?
And they used AI facial recognition. And the computer system said it's Angela Lips of Tennessee. So this happened like in December of last year. It's just stories just coming out now. FBI goes to her house, flies her next to the marshal to North Dakota to put her in jail.
Wait a minute. Did they ever confirm that she'd even been to North Dakota?
No.
Oh, I'm
vacation.
telling you. No, Connor, I am owning North Dakota. I am owning, by the way, getting land in North Dakota is great right now, by the way. Great place to pick up land.
I hear Minot's nice this time of year.
I swear to you, I am owning North Dakota.
But she said
I'm never working again.
She was quote saying, I will never go back to North Dakota.
No,
so
no.
She's not owning it.
No, I'm going back to pick up that big check. And when the state of North Dakota pays me for when I sue their asses, I am getting the biggest check like Publishers Clearinghouse.
So this is dangerous territory.
It is.
The FBI and the North Dakota State Police Department used Clearview AI. So they scored just as many points as Clearview Regional High School's football team did this year. That's basically zero.
Okay.
They used this company called Clearview AI. CNN reached out for comment. Nothing because why would they? This part, and she was in jail for 50 days.
Okay, I swear to you,
behind bars for 50 days.
I would own the state. I'd open up a ranch. I would never work again by the time I got done suing them. I know a twin who spent a day and a half in jail.
That's a day and a half.
A day and a half in jail because of something an estranged brother did.
Oh, God.
An estranged brother. And this twin spent, I think, like 30 hours in jail? 32 hours in jail?
Yeah.
How about the check?
Oh, I can imagine.
Almost $1 million.
For a day and a half.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Dude, yeah, I'm in. You know what?
Well, wait a minute. If you seriously, if we can find something, Connor, that your brother does, you guys can't pass. He's much taller. But it's like it could, we could do it.
She was in jail from July 14th to Christmas Eve.
Okay, that's 6 months. That's incredible.
Christmas Eve, they let her out.
That's horrible.
When they found out, oh, whoops, sorry.
No, that's horrible.
Computer system was wrong.
God, that's horrible.
That's horrible, dude.
That's horrible.
I hope she got paid. She's gonna get paid. You're
right.
Oh
no, I hope she does.
That company's got to go under. That company's got to go. Clearview AI got to go.
I hope she gets every dollar.
All right, that's your crazy story of the weekend. All right, Bryce Harper got booed yesterday. It was in a big spot where he comes up to bat and he comes up small, and this was en route to the Phillies' 8-3 loss. But if you remember, at the time they were down 6-0.
Right.
Justin Crawford starts the inning off with a hit against Mackenzie Gorge. By the way, left. So that's good for Crawford.
He's very good against lefties.
Yeah, he's just showing that he belongs at the major league level.
Yes.
But bases loaded, nobody out. Here comes Bryce Harper, and Bryce Harper does nothing. And so the boo birds start a little bit yesterday. Harper, he struck out. Sorry, I wanted to get that clear. So he strikes out. That's like almost a cardinal sin. Like, you can't strike out
You can't strike out in that position.
Nobody out, bases loaded. Like,
correct.
You got to put the ball in. Like, you got to do something.
And did you see the swings?
They weren't pretty.
No. I thought he was at Topgolf on at least one of them.
They weren't pretty.
No.
So here's the booze. And look,
good for him. He deserves to hear the booze.
The fans were upset with this situation. Now, was it louder that it was Bryce? Like, would anybody have been booed in that situation, or is it because Bryce?
Yeah, anybody would have been booed. But it was definitely louder because it was Bryce. I think maybe the only guy that would be clear would be Crawford because he's so new.
I don't think
it'd be a groan more if it was Crawford.
Yeah, I don't think that everybody booed though.
No, it wasn't everybody.
No. I don't think that everybody gets booed. Like, I don't think Bryce gets booed there 2 years ago. Not booed, no.
No, but now with the team.
The groan, yes. But he's getting booed now. It's because now he's getting booed.
Who on the team doesn't? I mean, look at all these. Maybe Edmundo Sosa.
Some guys would hear it loud. Like JT would hear it.
JT would get it. Turner would get it.
He would hear it the loudest because
he
just got the contract to it that not many people wanted him to get.
Let's not act like Bo, Marsh, and Stott are in the best graces of the fan base heading into this year. Everybody would get it.
I wonder how long does this go? And if he gets red hot, let's say he has a great month of April, right? It's still March. Let's say he's a great month of April. Then the boo stuff goes away. But
exactly.
But because of this offseason, it's been a wild one. Because of this offseason, there's a lot of storylines surrounding Bryce Harper.
Absolutely.
If this continues, by the way, he's batting under 100. I know it's early. He's batting under 100. If he has a bad series against the Nationals, he's going to hear it.
What do you mean if this continues? Like, he's lucky the games in the World Baseball Classic were in Miami and Houston. Yeah. We had people mad at him about the World Baseball Classic performance when it meant nothing for the season.
Yeah.
This is going to be all year long for Bryce. And
unless he gets hot. If he gets hot and shows signs of Bryce being Bryce, then it changes, but he has not shown that.
I had a gentleman yesterday on Twitter say to me, you guys got to drop it with this elite stuff. Like, talking about I said, he brought this on himself.
Well, and he's paid to be.
He has brought this on himself.
You need him to be. Phillies cannot get by. Think of the Sixers for a second, right? Like, we've talked about Maxey taking that step forward to be able to sort of help the pain when Embiid's not playing or if he's not 100%. Baseball's different. Like, Justin Crawford's not going to take over Bryce Harper's production at the plate, other than getting on base.
He's not.
There's no guy where you go, all right, Harper's having a down year. We can slide him down the order and put this guy here. There's nobody.
No.
Harper needs to play good for this team to succeed.
He does.
And I'm saying good. I'm not even saying elite. I'm saying
no.
good.
He has to play very good.
That's why the conversation is the conversation.
He can't play good. No, he has to be very good. Like, he has to be very good.
They made the playoffs without him very good last year.
I think he had a very good season. Don't you?
No, I thought he played a good season last year.
Yeah, wow. You're tougher on him than I am then.
Yeah.
I think he had a very good season. Like, I go very good.
I thought he had a very, very good season 2 years ago, but that's 2 years ago.
You're going double very. I think there's very good. There's great. There's, I wasn't as disappointed with that. But
disappointed. Just the wrist injury and
I got you.
Whatever. He's got to bounce back.
He better bounce back.
Hopefully he starts tonight. All right, everybody have a great rest of your day. Middays with Marks comes your way next. Don't forget, Sixers tonight here on the Fanatic. Tomorrow, Flyers here on the Fanatic, as they're both making a push for the playoffs right now.
Debut day.
Debut day tomorrow, Painter and Porter Martone. We also have the Celtics-Hawks game to pay attention to tonight. We're rooting Celtics. We're rooting Celtics tonight, Penguins tomorrow. Tonight.
No, tonight too. Yes.
I'm sick to my stomach.
Tonight's a root for the rivals
Celtics,
night.
Penguins.
Wow, everybody have a great rest of the day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic